Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Tsunade teaches secret of his clan to Naruto part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. The epic battle between Madara and Hashirama had ended, the landscape forever changed, the bond between two men that helped found Konoha forever broken. Madara was presumed dead as his body was never found and the first Jinchuriki to the Kyuubi was born. Mito, in her infinite knowledge of sealing, managed to seal the beast inside of her so that Hashirama could make one final push, one last-ditch attempt to bring Madara down. The plan worked, but the guilt weighed heavy on his conscience. Hashirama breathes heavily with a sad smile on his face. It's done, Mito. The bond between us forever broken. His hatred snuffed, but in turn my fire dims. Mito walks up to her husband and gives him a hug. The will of fire will always burn strong within you, my love, and with it so will Konoha. You can lead our village to greatness. I have faith in you. Hashirama smiles weakly and looks at the massive scar that now denotes where a battle between two gods took place. A place that was once a lake teeming with life, now a basin with a waterfall at one end. This place will always wear the scar of the battle between us, between two gods amongst men. The Valley of the End is what it will be called. This place will forever show the end of one man's hatred, the end of a long bond between Madara and me, the end of the land of fire, where one man's dream of hatred fell while another's journey was just beginning. Mito smiles and kisses Hashirama on the cheek. I am sorry it had to be this way, but what is done is done. Come home with me, Hashirama, and let us both rule Konoha and show others what the will of fire truly is. Hashirama turns and smiles at Mito. You're right. I cannot dwell in the past as the future is much brighter. Come, Mito, let's go home. 3 years later. A much brighter future it was, as in that time Hashirama has let Konoha prosper and shown the elemental nations how strong the land of fire was, and with it the will of fire that each shinobi produced out of Konoha had. Another bright spot in Mito and Hashirama's life was 1 year ago, when they had a baby boy they called Naruto. Although the seal that held Kyuubi at bay was weakened, it still held, which was a relief to both of them. Naruto also brought much joy to Konoha, and even though he was a year old, everyone saw him as Hashirama's legacy, a legacy to bring about future success to the land of fire. They did not know at the time how true those words would be. Mito was sitting on the sofa in the family room breastfeeding Naruto at the Senju compound, listening to the coos the black-haired boy with black eyes and tan skin was making. It made Mito's heart melt. The front door is heard opening and Hashirama's voice soon follows. Mito-kun, I see Naruto is enjoying himself. Said boy stops breastfeeding for a brief moment, and looks at Hashirama, and waves to him and produces a goo, then goes back to what he was doing. Ah, how sweet. I think Naruto wants a little time with his father after mommy gets done. Mito giggles. You act so different when around Naruto. You forego that serious nature everyone usually sees you with, and turn into a child again here at home. Hashirama shrugs and sits beside Mito. What can you say? Having a family makes you do strange things. He pauses, then sighs. How's the seal holding? Mito smiles as she hands Naruto over to him and buttons up her kimono again. Just fine, but I'm not sure how long it will stay intact. A yell from Hashirama interrupts her thought process, and looks over to see Naruto yanking her husband's long black hair, making her laugh. Yow! Naruto, don't pull on my hair like that, and OW. Ugh, having a child is troublesome. 6 years later, Naruto and Hiruzen Sarutobi were out in the backyard of the Senju compound being trained by none other than Hashirama himself. Naruto and Hiruzen were both 7 years of age, born a month from each other, Naruto on January 18th while Sarutobi in February. This was not the first year of training with the first Hokage. Oh no, they started 2 years earlier, and since then both have progressed quickly to the point where Hashirama thought they would be a force to be reckoned with down the road. Naruto pushed a punch from Hiruzen out of the way and attempted to elbow him in the solar plexus, but Hiruzen grabbed it and flipped himself over Naruto's head, landing on his feet behind him. Naruto turns as Hiruzen kicks at his ribs, earning a hit, making Naruto tumble a little, but he recovers and sweeps low, hoping to get his opponent off his feet, but said person jumps over them. Just as both were going to go in for another round, Hashirama halts them. Hold, my children, you have done well and you lasted 30 minutes against each other this time. I am proud of you both and have decided to test your elemental affinities so I can start you on ninjutsu training. Hashirama takes 2 sheets of paper out of his Hokage robes and hands them to Naruto and Hiruzen, who takes them with a smile. You should already know what to do with these, but in case you forgot, just add chakra to those and the paper will react. If it cuts, you have wind, soggy as water, dust as earth, crinkled as lightning, and if it bursts into flame, you have fire. Well, go on, try it out. Both nod and Hiruzen goes first, watching the paper react as he adds chakra to it. The paper first turns to dust, but as the particles fall, they burst into intense flame. Well, Hiruzen, it seems you have an equally strong affinity to earth and fire, a good offense and defense which we will work on. Naruto, said person, nods and does as asked and watches as one half of the paper becomes soggy to the point it almost disintegrates and plops to the ground below while the other half turned to dust, but it was not finished. The remains of the paper on the ground suddenly turned into a tiny sapling, signifying that Naruto had the sacred bloodline of the Senju. Well, Naruto, aren't you full of surprises? Not only do you have the Mukten, but you also have a water affinity close to Tobirama's level. Hashirama sees the gleam in Naruto's eyes. No, I will not teach you Mukden until you have mastered your water and earth elements to a certain degree. Ah. Naruto pouts, earning a laugh from Hiruzen. Hashirama smiles now. Do your physical exercises, kunai throwing, chakra control, and lastly spar again. You boys are progressing fast, and with the nation still in a period of war, only the strongest survive. Now, when you're done, I want you to think what other ninja skill you would like to work on, then go home and tell your clan head about it, okay? Both nod and set out to do as told and turn to see Mito coming to greet the boys. They are coming along well, my love, and foresee them doing great things in the future. Hashirama nods and asks, are you going to teach Naruto sealing while I teach him about kenjutsu? Mito nods but ponders, are we pushing them too hard, Hashirama? Are we making them grow up too fast? I sometimes wonder that myself, Mitoheim, but as tensions run high, so does the threat of war, and both of us know that only the strongest survive out there. Mito nods sadly as both watch Naruto and Hiruzen go through their exercises to be prepared for what is to come if the need ever arose. 2 months later, Mito decided to take Naruto on a trip to where she grew up, the village of Yuzugakure, so that he could further his training in sealing and make some friends there. Hashirama approved the trip without hesitation as he cared for family. That and seeing Naruto's gleaming eyes and hyper attitude, he had no choice but to comply. Are we there yet? Naruto whines. Patience, young man, we are not that far from the village entrance. But it's been 2 days already and I still haven't learned anything new, come on, teach me something. Mito sighs and bops Naruto on the head, earning a yelp of pain for him. Remember your father's lessons, Naruto, and make them your own. I could always tell your father that you whined the whole way here. Naruto pales, knowing what would happen if she did that. Very harsh training. No, I will behave, please don't tell dad. He begs, making Mito laugh. Alright, I won't tell, just promise me to give this training your fullest attention, and do make some friends, please. Naruto nods, which makes Mito smile. We are here, Yuzukage Tower. A knock on the door halts the Kage from her thoughts and tells whomever to enter. What the Kage sees brightens her day. Mito. The Yuzukage state, rushing up to her and engulfing her in a hug. Nice to see you to Karen. She replies, returning the hug. Karen looks down to see what looks like a very small Hashirama. And who is this cutie, Mito? Is that your son? Naruto bows, pleased to meet you, Yuzukage-sama. My name is Naruto Senju. Karen laughs. I see Hashirama instilled modesty into the boy. Well, Naruto, I think you and I are going to get along just fine. Naruto nods, then asks a question. Ano, but how do you know my mother? Mito smiles and ruffles Naruto's hair. Silly Naruto, this here is my mother. Naruto scratches his chin and replies with a simple "oh," making the two women laugh. Soon after, Karen gives Mito and Naruto a tour of Yuzu, which looks like Konoha but different in a way as it had many bridges over multiple rivers that ran along the land. The Uzumaki swirl was on all the buildings, denoting their allegiance, and every store, citizen or shinobi they passed along the way, they were treated with kindness and respect. The tour lasted an hour, but Naruto felt some sort of connection here, like it was a home away from home. It made sense, as he was part Uzumaki. Mito decided that they would spend 6 months in Yuzu, which warmed Naruto's heart, as he seemed to like the village, which is exactly what Mito was looking for. They spent the whole 6 months at Karen's estate, but during that time, Naruto was with various sensei which showed him Uzumaki ninjutsu, kenjutsu, and fuinjutsu. The first 2 months he spent on learning to upgrade his fuinjutsu or sealing with an elderly woman called Yuzuki. Naruto saw her as wise, gentle, and caring, though could put her fist down at a moment's notice, which he found out one day after doing one thing that his mother and father warned him about: the whining. Yuzuki-sensei, why do you have me relearn the same strokes over and over again when I already know them? I want to learn something new. Naruto whines. Yuzuki smiles and walks over to Naruto, the cane helping her elderly frame. She takes said cane and bashes it over poor Naruto's skull, making him yelp in pain and hold his head. No whining, young man. Didn't Mito tell you about the dangers of sealing and what could happen if you mess one up without knowing? I have you do this for your own safety, and I will not tolerate whining in my household. If I hear one more whine out of your mouth, then I will tell your mother about why I barred you from my training. Naruto's eyes widen and quickly scramble to get back to work. No, please, I will do my best. Please don't tell Kasan. Yuzuki cackles lightly and ruffles Naruto's hair. Just get to work, young lad. I see you achieving greatness in the future as you catch on to topics fairly quickly. Naruto breathes a sigh of relief and went back to work. After the 2 months was up, Yuzuki was proud to call Naruto a seal beginner while telling him in a few years he could become a seals expert. Naruto was ecstatic and quickly told Mito about it, and she couldn't be more proud. The 3rd and 4th month was spent on Uzumaki ninjutsu, which was a breeze thanks to him having Tobirama's water affinity. He was trained by a middle-aged man called Daisuke. When said man learned about Naruto having Hashirama's brother's affinity to water, he couldn't be more pleased and knew that a lot would get done in the 2 months. In all, Naruto learned 6 new jutsu, but the one he loved the most was the first one he mastered, in which he only needed to use one hand seal. Alright Naruto, our 2 months are almost up. I heard you were working on one of the jutsu I taught you and was wondering how you were coming along with it. Naruto grins, prepared to be amazed. Daisuke-sensei. Naruto does one hand sign and proclaims Uzumaki's secret technique, Maelstrom of Destruction. Naruto throws his hands out towards the small outcropping of trees near the training ground he has used for the last 2 months. Soon, a whirlpool forms around the trees, spinning so fast that the wind produced makes said trees sway violently side to side. Naruto clasps his hands together and yells and watches as the whirlpool encloses on the trees, turning them into toothpicks. Naruto does not end there as he throws his hands outward again, making the whirlpool destabilize, launching the wooden shrapnel in many directions. After the display was done, he looked over and laughed at Daisuke's amazed face. "I don't believe it," one hand signed to do a jutsu that was only meant to be a C rank, but the way you used it could classify it as a B, maybe a rank. Naruto laughs. "I know the jutsu was only meant to hold a person in place or use it for defense, but I realized that it could become so much more, hence why I worked tirelessly on this one. I wonder how it would work on groups of people." Daisuke shivers. "I don't want to know, and you definitely are a senju, alright, as that had to take a lot of chakra, and an uzumaki as you made your own variant of the jutsu. How do you feel? Are you tired at all?" Naruto shakes his head. "I still feel like I am at full tank. Why is that a problem?" Daisuke's mouth hangs open. "I know the uzumaki is known for its large chakra pools, but I guess being part senju skyrocketed that to the point where you can crank out high-level jutsu with minimal effect." Naruto laughs and rubs his nose. "I'm awesome. Mom is going to be so proud." News soon went around Yuzu about Naruto creating a new variant of the Uzumaki Maelstrom Jutsu, and even added it to their repertoire of jutsu, classifying it as an A rank after seeing it demonstrated. Mito and Karen could not be happier for Naruto. The last 2 months was spent with a middle-aged man called Kenshin, where he taught Naruto about the Uzumaki stances of Kenjutsu as well as some attacks that sent out a wave of chakra to decimate opponents that were caught off guard. This training was the most brutal as Kenshin was very strict in his training, and every day Naruto came back bruised, cut up, and looking disheveled, which Mito joked on him about. Naruto was too tired to even care. It was the first week into training when he found out how strict Kenshin could be. Naruto stood in front of Kenshin. Both wielded Bakken as Naruto's sensei deemed him not ready for actual sword play yet. "Watch closely, Naruto, as I show you one of the stances of the Raging Tide." Naruto nods and watches intently. "First, spread your feet about 2 feet apart with your left foot forward while your right foot stays behind. Next, bend your knees a little and then place your hands near your crotch area to where you are holding your blade slightly to the right." Kenshin gets into the stance to show Naruto how it would look like. With this stance you have a wide range of motion. You can block blows from overhead, to both your sides, below the belt while attacking in a wide range of areas. This stance is meant to flow like that of the river but be fierce and fast moving like the tide. "Now, can you show me the stance please?" Naruto nods and does as Kenshin says, but he gets hit in the right knee with sensei's Bakken, making him grunt in pain. "Your feet are not properly spaced apart, and you are crouching too low." Again. Kenshin disciplines. Naruto attempts again but this time gets hit on his right forearm, earning another hiss of pain. "Your sword angle is too wide, bring it in a little, and you are crouched too low." Again. Naruto repeats this over and over again, and for every mistake, Kenshin hit him with his Bakken, but after 45 minutes he eventually got the stance and smiled. "Now what, sensei?" Naruto asks, earning a hit to the left side of his ribs. "Ouch. What was that for?" "You are not focused on your opponent. Keep all senses open and look for where your opponent is going to strike." Naruto hardens his glare at Kenshin as he looks for where he would attack. Naruto sees him twitch his hand to the left a little and thought that is where he would hit. Wrong. As Naruto went to block left, he was hit in the right side of the ribs, making him hiss in pain. The enemy will always try to fool you with his body language. Look into his eyes and feel where he will strike next. Naruto gets in his stance again and looks at both Kenshin's body language and eyes. He sees an image in his head and brings his sword up to block and smiles as he hears wood on wood, then is found flying across the dojo courtesy of a kick to the stomach. Naruto groans as he stands and rubs his stomach. Kenjutsu is not only an art of the sword but a mix of taijutsu as well. Remember that. An enemy will always take an opening for its full worth. Get in your stance and try again. Naruto bows high sensei. This went on for 2 months, but Naruto was happy for his training as it made him pay attention to his surroundings and to always stay on guard even though he was wandering around Yuzu. Kenshin said to always expect the unexpected. After the 2 months, Kenshin was happy to say that Naruto had a good grasp on the Raging Tide and would become a master of it if he practices it for years to come. Kenshin was so impressed that he decided to give Naruto a present. "Our 2 months are at an end and am impressed with your skill thus far." "Thank you, sensei." Naruto replies. Kenshin smiles as he leads Naruto to the back of the dojo and down a flight of stairs into a room that has light shining on one object on a pedestal. It is a katana whose 3-foot sheath is adorned with silver waves of the ocean, while the color of it is bluish-white. The handle is wrapped in a blue and white strap with a red gem on the butt of said handle. Naruto looks at the katana with adoration, which Kenshin notices and speaks. "This is the Raging Whirlpool, a katana that chooses its wielder. The last one being my sensei, but alas it does not call to me and have tried to find a person ever since." Naruto points to himself. "And you think that person is me?" Kenshin nods. "Open your heart and mind, Naruto, let it call out to you." Naruto closes his eyes and steadies his breathing, and soon he hears a whisper. "Come to me, child. Hold me in your hands, I have been dormant for far too long." Naruto's eyes snap open and, in a trance-like manner, walks up to the katana and grabs its hilt. As soon as he did that, a blue aura comes out from the sword and wraps around Naruto. Kenshin smiles, knowing that a wielder was found at last, but wondered what was happening between the two. Naruto finds himself in a sea of white and calls out, "Is anybody here?" The same voice that he heard moments ago speaks up. "Come to me, child. Let me see who I chose to wield my blade. Naruto walks to the voice to find a 5'8" tall woman in a blue and white kimono with the patterns of waves on it. She is barefoot and has middle back length silver hair. Her eyes are blue like the ocean and have a smile like that of an angel. Naruto gasps at the sheer beauty of the person in front of him. "Ah, a young lad wishes to wield me, I see. What is your name, child?" Naruto bows. "My name is Naruto Senju, my lady, and I am honored that you chose me." The lady smiles. "My name is Anya, the spirit of the ocean and of this katana you are currently holding. Before you go, I must know what you wish to do with this blade. Choose carefully. The wrong answer and I will kill you, then send your body out to sea." Naruto gulps and thinks deeply, then responds, "I wish to wield this blade in the hopes of protecting all that I hold dear, and will use this blade to strike down any foe that dares harm them. I wish to carry on my father's will of fire and protect Konoha until my dying breath." Anya smiles. "You choose wisely, young Naruto. Use me well and let your enemies feel the rage that which the ocean delivers." The area flashes white and Naruto finds himself still holding the hilt of the katana. He takes it off the pedestal and unsheathes it to find that the blade is a silver white and is 2.5 feet long. He takes a few test swings and finds that it is perfectly balanced and that his movements flow like that of an ocean or river current. Naruto sheathes it and affixes it to his back and smiles at Kenshin. "It seems that it spoke to you and accepted you as its next holder," Kenshin states, but was not expecting what would come out of Naruto's mouth. "Vanya is her name, sensei, the spirit of the ocean. I will use this blade to slay any enemy that harms the will of fire and Konoha, and show them how much rage the ocean can make." Kenshin just chuckles and ruffles Naruto's hair. "Come on, my boy, we need to tell you mother about your new toy." With that, the 6 months ended. Naruto made friends with a lot of people in the village, especially the orphans, as he felt bad that they would never grow up with their actual parents. He vowed that one day he would come back to Yuzu someday to help this wonderful village prosper just like Konoha has been doing. Mito was proud of what Naruto has accomplished over half a year and couldn't wait to tell Hashirama the great news. After some teary goodbyes, both left back to Konoha with a sense of fulfillment in their hearts. It's been 6 years since Naruto arrived back from Yuzu, and since then Naruto and Hiruzen grew stronger, making Hashirama and Mito very happy. Not only that, Konoha grew stronger as well, though there was still the occasional skirmish with clans here and there. We currently find Naruto and Hiruzen meditating in the Senju Gardens on the estate grounds, as it helped stabilize their chakra and acted as a form of control, as chakra could be added to certain body parts like the ears for increased hearing. Naruto, now age 15 like Hiruzen, was 6 foot tall, had middle back length black hair like his father but put that in a high ponytail, wore a headband with the Senju clan symbol on it that parted the bangs to either side of his angular, royal-looking face, which had a scar that ran across his right eye and halted at his chin. He also wore simple black clothing underneath his Hashirama-like armor, which had the Senju clan symbol on either side of the collar, and Geta sandals. On his back was the katana he got from Yuzu, the raging whirlpool. Hiruzen, who was 5'3", now wore a gray steel breastplate with shoulder guards, gray arm guards, folds covering his upper legs, a pouch strapped to his lower back with bandages, a standard forehead protector, and a kunai holster on his upper right leg. He had short black hair and was starting a goatee. Naruto senses someone coming and knows who it was and smiles. "Hello, Tsunade. How can I help you today?" Hashirama chuckles. "You gained both Tobirama and my traits, which I find astonishing, and I see that enemy of yours got a little close with his katana." "Any?" Naruto pouts as Hiruzen giggles. "Tsunade, that was 2 years ago, and the only reason I still have my eye is that I closed it and jumped back at the right time." "Yes, 2 years ago, but that was when you thought nothing could beat you. But now you know to be more careful." Naruto smiles and nods. "Yes, never underestimate an opponent, and never let anger consume you. I know the lessons you taught very well." Flashback, 2 years ago. Hiruzen and Naruto look over a small encampment of leftover members from a clan that fought yet lost in the warring years, where clan fought clan for dominance and land. It was a sad time, but now there were villages, but that still did not end the cycle of hate, and war loomed ominously overhead. The reason for taking them out: a prominent Konoha businessman and council member was found assassinated, and before said assassin could escape he was caught and interrogated, giving away his clan's location. Naruto sighs. "The cycle never ends, does it, Hiruzen?" "It seems that way, my friend. Let us hope that one day we will see peace." Both look down to see about 100 men, women, and children wandering around the white tent city they established. It was Spartan, but it got the job done. "Must we kill the children, Hiruzen? It saddens me to take the life of those that still have a budding future." "Unfortunately so, Naruto. Let us steel our hearts and hope that Kami forgives what we are about to do. For the will of fire, for the will of fire." Naruto responds back. Both breathe heavily, steeling themselves, and start to run through hand signs in the hopes of earning their surprise so that they could then run in and take out the rest. Naruto does one hand sign and announces his jutsu with a whisper: "Water release. Water Dragon Bullet Technique." Hiruzen finishes as Naruto launches his jutsu Earth Release. Earth Dragon. The two jutsu combine to make a massive dragon made of mud which collides just on the outskirts of the camp, which makes a massive tidal wave of mud crash into the now screaming populace. Naruto reaches back and unsheathes his katana while Hiruzen does the same, but grabbing his bow staff. They rush in to finish whoever was left, and it was not much. Out of the 100 or so that were alive, now only 20 remain. For the two Konoha shinobi, this was an easy task to accomplish. Like a flow of a river, Naruto and Hiruzen dance around their opponents, slashing open their necks or caving in their skulls. Naruto cut down a person in front of him, then turned right and stabbed another through the skull. He ducked under a slash and turned to face his opponent, when he failed to see one coming from his left until it was almost too late. Naruto finishes the man in front of him, but closes his eyes and jumps back as he sees a glint of metal come his way. A burning is felt, and he screams in pain, the vision in his right eye going blurry. Acting quickly, Naruto dodges a couple strikes and thrusts forward and connects, piercing the man through the heart. 3 minutes, that is all it took to dispatch the entire camp, which now had a river of red run through it mixed with the dismembered corpses strewn about the land. Hiruzen and Naruto sigh in sadness at what they'd done, but such was the shinobi lifestyle. Flashback end. Naruto, are you even listening to me? Hashirama asks. Naruto chuckles nervously. Sorry, I was having a moment. Hiruzen laughs wholeheartedly, earning a tick mark from Naruto, but Hashirama clears his throat, catching both their attention again. Naruto, Hiruzen, I must go into battle once again, but do not worry if I should not return, as my brother Tobirama will take over for me. I have already discussed this with Mito, and both she and I agree that you are to stay here, my son, to ensure my legacy lives on. Naruto stares wide-eyed at his father. No, I refuse. I want to fight alongside you. I want to be there as father and son strike down our enemies. Please, father. Hashirama sighs and walks over to Naruto and pulls him in a hug. I know you want to, but you have so much to live for yet, my child. I want you to live out your life and enjoy it with Hiruzen and your friends. You will be here to carry on the will of fire and continue to bring greatness to Konoha. Carry on my legacy, Naruto. Do it not just for me but the entire elemental nations. Naruto tears up and nods sadly, knowing that he would never win the argument, yet knew it was for the best. Naruto watches as Hashirama takes his necklace off and puts it around his neck, then smiles. That is my gift to you, my son. Use it well and long live the Senju. Goodbye, Naruto. I will miss you. Naruto is now crying at this point, feeling the gem that now hangs around his neck. I will miss you too, Tsunade. It would be a week later when news of Hashirama's death reached Konoha, as his body was escorted by the remaining members of his regiment. The battle was a success, but at a great cost. All of Konoha was in mourning for the loss of their first Hokage, the one that gave life to the village, and now Tobirama was there to take up the mantle which everyone cheered for. The one who took it the worst was Mito Uzumaki, and to her shock, her stress further weakened the seal and knew it wouldn't be that long until she had to transfer it into someone. The funeral was 3 days later, and all of Konoha attended to pay their last respects, and a few made some speeches, but none was as heartfelt as the one Hashirama's son delivered. I am glad to see that the entirety of Konoha is out to pay my father the last respect he deserves. The necklace I wear on myself was his gift to me before he left, and I wear it with pride and honor, and vow to keep his legacy alive like he wished me to. To die in battle is a shinobi's greatest honor, and he passed on doing what he loved, protected what he loved, and showed that the will of fire can live on even in death. That will lives on in all of you, all the ones that make Konoha what it is. Now I ask you all, will this death extinguish this flame, or will it make it burn more fierce than ever before? Cheers go out, and some even yell out, our fire will never be extinguished, which brought a smile to everyone's face. It was a somber time in Konoha, but with Hashirama's passing made the fire in everyone to find new spark and glow brighter than before. As Naruto walks away from the crowd, he feels a tug on his leg and looks down to see a puffy red-eyed Tsunade. He sighs, knowing that this was a sad time for her, so Naruto picks her up and places her on his shoulders. Why did Granddaddy have to die, Naruto? A 3-year-old Tsunade cries. The life of a shinobi is a harsh reality, Tsunade, but know that he died a hero and at Mito, Tobirama, and I will always look after you. Tsunade hugs Naruto's neck and cries into his hair, making him sigh and tear up as well. Getting over Hashirama's death would not be easy on anyone, and to make it worse, Mito's seal to hold back the Kyuubi was weakening. Flashback 1 year ago. Naruto walked into the kitchen looking for something to snack on when Mito called him from the library room. He sighs and heads upstairs and down the hall, then enters the third door on his right to find his mother hunched over a desk looking over many seal arrays. You called Kasan? Mito nods and waves Naruto over the seal. Holding back Kyuubi has weakened to a great extent, and I know that it will not last much longer, and have decided that it would be best to seal it inside of you, Naruto, and need help on getting this seal array down for you to use. Naruto chokes on his own breath. What, but why me? Can't someone else get sealed with it? Yes, but your chakra is like that of your father's, nature-based, which can suppress Kyuubi and eventually tame it over time. Not only that, is you have Mokuton, which has the power to take on a Bija. Naruto sighs and plays with his ponytail. I don't like it, but I will do it for you, Kasan. Thank you, my son. Now let us see if we can figure the seal out. Any? Mito states as Naruto nods. For the next 3 hours, mother and son worked tirelessly on the seal array and were about to call it a day when Naruto looks at his mother making an ink stroke on a seal and notices it was wrong and would lead to catastrophic results. Kasan, don't finish that, you're making the wrong stroke. Mito finishes just as she responds, what do you mean? She looks at what she did. Oh no. Naruto and Mito watch as the seal levitates in the air and starts glowing. Just as both were about to vacate the office, a flash of white engulfs the library, then images play out of Konoha being attacked by the Kyuubi and run by a militaristic Hokage, the face of which could not be seen. There was turmoil that gripped the elemental nations and multiple battles played on, and eventually the final battle was shown in which the elemental nations and the ninja way would be extinct. A flash of white is seen yet again. The seal that once levitated turned to ash and piled up on the floor. Groans are heard from both Mito and Naruto, whom both hold their head and stand up shakily. They both look at each other with confusion. What just happened? Naruto asks. There were images of death and destruction all around. Was that what is to become of our nation? What is to become of Konoha? Mito questions. Kasa and I think whatever we did managed to make it so we could peer into the future. If this is the case, then I will gladly seal Kyuubi away, but I wish for myself to be sealed as well so that the future generation can prosper. Mito blinks, wondering how the hell a seal could do that, but notices that such a seal was only coincidence, and would never be attempted again. If what you say is right, my son, then I can only agree with you. Let us take a break and come back to this later. Naruto nods and both walk out of the library, still baffled at what they just saw and pondered on what they just managed to do. Flashback end. It is a sad day at the Senju home as Mito is lying in bed pale as a ghost and groaning in pain. It has been 3 years since the incident in the library. The even was still a mystery. Now, Naruto stands over his mother, worried that she might pass on before what must be done. Mito motions for Naruto to come close and weakly states the seal has weakened to a point where the Kyuubi might be released. Why this happened so early I do not know. You know what will happen when I seal the Kyuubi into you, do you not? Naruto sadly nods. I will miss you, Kasan. All of Konoha will, but I have an idea in which I make sure to fan the flames for the future shinobi. We have been working on that project for the last 4 years now. Mito smiles at the memories. I have faith in you, my son. When you awake from what you do, please give Konoha the spark it needs to rekindle the flame that we both predict to die out. Naruto brushes Mito's hairs out of her petite face. I will, Kasan. I will make Tsunade and you proud. Shall we begin? Mito nods and starts running through hand seals while Naruto lifts his shirt and holds it up with his teeth and draws a seal on his stomach. Mito finishes and her hand glows green. She touches her seal and lifts, drawing out the red chakra of the Kyuubi, and moves it toward the seal that Naruto drew on his stomach. Mito puts her hand on her son's stomach and pushes with the last of her chakra and life force to make sure the beast is sealed. 5 minutes later the process is complete, and for safety Naruto puts more seals on top of the one already made to limit how much influence the beast had on his conscious, but with Hashirama's sage chakra running through his system, in time Kyuubi will be tamed. The seal was done and Naruto applied chakra to it to complete the seal array, then rushes to Mito's side as she struggles to say her final words. Naruto is in tears as he cups his mother's face. With her dying breath she speaks her last words, the will lives on in you. With that Mito passes on, earlier than her time, and Naruto drops to his knees and cries over the dead body of his mother, and also of what he must sacrifice for what he has planned to ensure that Konoha prospers in the future. Mito's death was another bombshell in Konoha, and it seemed to dim the flames, yet with Naruto and Tobirama around, the flame was still lit. The funeral was like that of Hashirama's, and again, for the first time in 3 years, Konoha was in a somber mood. It was also after the funeral that Naruto contacted Tobirama and told him what he would be doing, and he surprisingly agreed with the idea. Hokage office. The scroll of seals is rolled out on the wooden floor and Naruto is bent over it, drawing an intricate seal system onto the paper. 20 minutes later he was finished. He stands up and sighs, then looks into Tobirama's eyes with a smile which he returns. You look good in all your armor and such. It will be a shocker when you come back many years later, but I have to ask why you are not telling Hiruzen about this. I must make it look like I disappeared, and I want this known only between the two of us. Yes, Hiruzen might be mad at me when I return, but I am well prepared for that. I will miss everyone here, especially you, my friend. Tobirama nods and grabs a scroll off of his desk. Naruto, I want you to take this with you when you decide to seal yourself so that you can save the future generation. And it is what I have planned to do as Hokage and contains some politics and other important details to read on. May this help you when you return. Naruto grabs the scroll. Thank you for everything, and please, if people ask where I went, tell them I went on an extended mission, and if the years go by and they question further, give them hope that I still live on. Tobirama nods and hugs Naruto with tears in both their eyes. Both look at each other one last time and nod. Naruto runs through a couple hand signs, then places his hand on his seal array and vanishes in a flash of white light. Tobirama sighs and rolls the scroll of seals back up, wondering how Naruto and Mito predicted the future, and how Naruto's return would shake the elemental nations. I will miss you, Naruto. All of Konoha will, but in time you will return and bring that will of fire known since Hashirama's reign back. Good luck, my boy, and may Kami smile upon you. Weeks passed and people began to question the whereabouts of Naruto, but Tobirama told them that he was on an extended mission like Naruto wanted. Those weeks turned into years, and still Tobirama assured the populace that Hashirama's son was still alive out there and to never lose hope. When Tobirama finally fell in battle like his brother did many years before, Hiruzen was the next to take the hat, and even after all these years he knew and hoped that somewhere, and somehow, his good friend Naruto would return. 50 years later, Naruto floated in an endless sea of white where aging and time never exist. He did not know how long he was in this form of limbo, but he made use of it as Naruto trained and managed to control Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto found out that with his seal design he could communicate with the fox, and over the seemingly endless time spent together, became partners to the extent where Kyuubi trusted Naruto with his actual name, Kurama. As Naruto was meditating in his world, it suddenly started to crack and collapse, making him smile. He stood and stretched his old bones. It is time, Kurama. Like my mother and I predicted, it is time to bring a new era into the elemental nations. Good luck, Senju-sama. But with me at your side, I know we can get the job done. Thank you, Kurama. Naruto responds back and vanishes like he did 50 years ago, in a flash of white. Moments earlier, Mizuki was currently running through the trees of Konoha hoping to reach the border in time, and couldn't help but laugh at how easy it was to acquire the forbidden scroll of sealing. Finally, with this scroll, my master and I can have infinite power which will bring this nation to its knees. About halfway to the border, Mizuki had to dodge a salvo of kunai and look to see who threw the projectiles and found 10 ANBU surrounding him. He slightly pales. By the order of the Sandaime Hokage, give up the scroll, Mizuki, and your sentence will be lessened. Mizuki flips them off like hell. I will. Now watch as I use this scroll to bring about your end. He unrolls the scroll slightly and glances over it, and notices an intricate seal array and thinks that it has to be an impressive jutsu, so he slams his hand down upon it and adds chakra. The scroll glows brightly, and soon a white flash envelopes the area, blinding the ANBU and Mizuki temporarily. When the light recedes, the ANBU gasp in shock, then get on their knees in respect at what they saw in front of them. Mizuki, now just getting his sight back, is confused at the ANBU's reactions, then sees the man in front of him and stumbles back in shock. Why, you should be dead. Hashirama was killed in a battle many years ago. Naruto looks around now. This is not the Hokage office like I planned those many years ago. He sets eyes on Mizuki, then the scroll on the forest floor, and lastly the ANBU around still on their knees. He instantly knows what happened. Rise, my comrades, and let me deal with this traitor in front of your eyes. A traitor that dares extinguish the flames that Konoha holds dear. The ANBU do as told, and Naruto rushes in with his katana drawn and slashes at Mizuki, who dodges and tries to scramble away in fear. Get away from me, you ghost. Naruto sighs, sheathes his katana and does some hand signs would release. Great forest technique. Naruto's right hand turns into wood and launches toward the fear-driven Mizuki, managing to capture him in the branches of his technique. Naruto brings the traitor forward so that they are looking eye to eye. You have a lot to answer for, my friend. Naruto looks at the men around him. Would you be a kind soul and escort me, this traitor, and my father's scroll to the Hokage Tower, please? I must talk to whoever is in charge. The ANBU drop from their stations. One picks up the scroll, then all bow and chorus at once. Senju-sama. Hokage Tower. A knock is heard on the door and Sarutobi allows them to enter. He looks up from his paperwork and smiles to see his ANBU with the forbidden scroll. Ah, I see you managed to get our treasured item back. Good job, ANBU sans. An ANBU in a boar mask walks forward and bows. Hokusama. It was not us who captured Mizuki and helped get the scroll back. It was Hashirama-sama. Sarutobi blinks, then glares at Boar. He died in a battle over 50 years ago, and his son went missing 3 years later when Nito passed on, and with it the Kyuubi. Do not joke with me. A new voice enters the office, one that Hiruzen hadn't heard in many years. The ANBU moved to the side to show Naruto in his usual attire holding up an immobilized Mizuki. Damn, Hiruzen, you got old. How many years has it been since I sealed myself in the forbidden scroll? And Naruto? Hiruzen stutters, then falls to the floor, passed out due to shock. It was another 10 minutes until the ANBU awoke Hiruzen from his slumber. Naruto did not mind, as he was sitting on the chair by the desk smiling, waiting for him to get vertical again. Mizuki was already taken to the TNI to be interrogated, though after seeing Naruto, it should be easy to break him. A groan is heard as Sarutobi grasps his head, then looks to see Naruto being calm and collected like he always was. So, it wasn't a dream. Naruto shakes his head, then laughs as he gets slapped across the face. What the hell were you thinking? Now, I would settle that old heart of yours. We may be the same age, but our bodies tell otherwise. Please, take a seat, my friend, and let me discuss why I had to seal myself in my father's scroll. Sarutobi nods and signals his ANBU back to their posts, then sets up a barrier seal so that no secrets could be spilled. As Sarutobi takes a seat, he asks a question. Why did you not tell me what your plans were? Why let me wallow in my guilt for so long? Naruto smiles and brushes aside one of his bangs and begins his tale. 4 years before Mito passed, both she and I made a mistake on a seal array that would eventually seal the Kyuubi within myself. This mistake proved to be a blessing in disguise, as the seal managed to let us peer into the future to an extent, and what we saw made us realize that in order for the elemental nations to live on that, I would need to retain my youth. Due to this, both Mito and I worked tirelessly to figure out how to do so. As you can tell, it worked, and now here I am a set amount of years later, but still looking like I am 18 years old. Tobarama and I discussed this before I sealed myself into the scroll of seals, and he was saddened at the fact but knew it was for the best. How is Tobarama, Yuzu, and the others? How many years has it been, as you have not answered that question yet? Sarutobi sighs. You and Mito always had a knack for making the most interesting seals, and I will not question you on how your seal is holding, as I know you became an expert in seals at age 15. Now, to answer your questions, it has been 50 years since you disappeared, and sadly, Tobarama died in battle just like Hashirama did. As for Yuzu, it still stands, and Tsunade wishes to see you again. You know she prayed every day for your return. She is currently running our hospital if you want to meet her. Naruto bows his head in sadness. I would not mind seeing Tsunade again, but I will do that later. As for Tobarama, It seems another bright flame has been extinguished, and the cycle continues even as I slept. Sarutobi nods, unfortunately so. Naruto sighs deeply. Can you get me up to speed on how Konoha is holding up? I would like to see if what Mito and I saw came to fruition. Sarutobi smiles sadly at Naruto. Konoha has been going downhill, I am afraid, and it's mainly because I grew soft over the years and let the civilian council and my old friend Danzo gain power over me. My advisors, Koharu and Hamura, and I have attempted to gain back what is mine, but I cannot seem to do so. Maybe you can give a morale boost to this old village. Interesting, the images Kasan and I saw were vague, but I see that Konoha is not well. Naruto sighs. Drop the seal, Hiruzen, and call a council meeting, as Tobirama gave me much to do when I was sealed and know a thing or two about politics. That and both of us were trained by my father. Sarutobi does as told and laughs. The council is going to shit themselves seeing you again, Naruto, though they might see you as a young Hashirama from the history books. Oh, and this might piss you off, but here is what the academy teaches nowadays. Sarutobi picks up a piece of paper from his desk and hands it over to Naruto, who grabs it and reads over it, then squashes the area with Ki as silver chakra escapes from his body. The Anbu and Hiruzen drop to their knees at the overwhelming pressure. Naruto lets up on it after taking a deep breath to stay calm. My father and Tobirama would be rolling in their graves if they saw this. What in the hell does learning history have to do with the ninja world? Yes, it is important to learn, but focusing mostly on it, and only having 3 jutsu to pass. This sickens me to no end, and I fear for what the genin of today have become. Sarutobi tugs on the collar of his robes, letting air get through as he was sweating from Naruto's Ki. The genin death rate is about 50%, and I have noticed that the jonin tend to play favorites sometimes, and usually don't train themselves to stay at the level they were promoted to. Naruto growls. That is it. Hashirama's legacy is back, and I will show everyone what the will of fire truly is, and will rekindle that flame that everyone used to have. Naruto rips up the paper in his hand in frustration. Come, Hiruzen. We have some house cleaning to do. Sarutobi signals the Anbu call the council to order, and tell them if they are not here in 10 minutes they can forfeit their seat. Hi Hokage-sama. 10 minutes later. Council chambers. Everyone was seated around the table, and was muttering about why this meeting was called. The room goes silent as Sarutobi enters with a gleam in his eye which the advisors and clan heads catch. Seems the god of shinobi is back, but what made him change? They thought. Hokage-sama, may I ask why this meeting was called? Koharu questions. Sarutobi nods, then proceeds to sit down. Recently, an old friend of mine came back from being missing and would love to chat with you, especially the civilian side, on matters that pertain to how you are undermining my authority, which my advisors and I have worked to get back. A civilian member sneers. Of course we usurped your power. As civilians you listen to us. Plus we grow tiresome of having all these ninja around getting all these benefits, and such while we get shit. The clan heads and advisors are astonished with his man's brash and uncouth remarks to the Hokage, who just looks at him and smiles, then proceeds to speak. So you confess to your crimes then? Good, that will make it easier on me and my friend, which would love to introduce himself. Anbu let him in. The Anbu guarding the door open it, and Naruto walks in, making everyone gasp. Danzo, who was seated on the civilian end, was in fear for the first time in many years. The clan heads and advisors all gasp out one word. Hashirama-sama. Naruto chuckles lightly. Come now, I may look like my father, but I am not him. No, I am his son Naruto, whom disappeared 50 years ago. You should remember that, Koharu and Hamura, as you were under the guidance of Tobirama himself. Both the advisors smile. Well, this is most surprising. It seems that Hashirama's legacy lives. I see that you have his necklace still. Hamura responds. Naruto palms it, and closes his eyes. Yes, his spirit lives on in me, and with this necklace he always will be by my side when I fight my enemies. Can someone explain to me what is going on? This man supposedly died 50 years ago. Tsum yells out. Naruto turns to her. And who might you be, fair maiden? Tsum blushes. I am Tsum Inuzuka, clan head of the Inuzuka clan. Senju-sama. Naruto bows. Pleased to meet you. Now can I get the names of the others? Hayashi stands and bows. Hayashi Hyuga of the Hyuga clan. Shikaku Nara of the Nara clan. Inoichi Yamanka of the Yamanka clan. Shibi Aburame of the Aburame clan. Choza Akimichi of the Akimichi clan. All bow and chorus welcome Senju-sama. As Naruto was about to talk, another civilian member screeches in annoyance. I demand that you stop ignoring me and the civilians. This. She cannot continue as she finds herself trapped by tree branches that erupted from her wooden chair and floor, keeping her mouth shut. Everyone was in awe at the subconscious use of Mokutan. Naruto glares at the civilian side and glares at them. You do not demand anything in this village run by a Hokage and its shinobi civilian sans. You may grow weary of having them around, but you forget that they are the ones that protect you in a time of war or invasion. The Hokage makes sure those shinobi are strong and ready to fight for the village and its inhabitants. The benefits given to them are well deserved as they lay their life on the line every mission they go out on. The clan heads, advisors, and Sarutobi nods in approval. Naruto continues. Now, since you thought it was wise to take that power away, our academy is weak, our genin have a 50% chance of dying, and our whole system of shinobi has grown weak as a result. I fear for the security of this village and the virtues my father built this village upon, but I digress. Tobirama's law states that a civilian council is only needed in a time of war, and we are not in one at the moment, so as the clan head of the Senju I will motion for you to give up your seats, and even you, mummy man. I feel the darkness ooze off of your very body and can tell that it was you who has been diminishing this will of fire that my father built this village upon. Do not cross me, do not attempt to bring this village down because I will find you and I will beat what virtues my father lived by and passed on to me into that thick skull of yours. Danzo scowls. Damn, that sends you all my plans might be ruined because of him. Sarutobi smiles and claps. Well said, Naruto-sama. Now, who here votes to have the civilian side as well as Danzo be cleared of their seats on this council? The clan heads and advisors raise their hands. It was unanimous, leaving the civilian side and Danzo in a bad mood. It's unanimous. The civilians and Danzo will now be escorted out, never to attend a meeting again. ANBU. The ANBU escort them out the door while Danzo takes another look at Naruto and growls, which said person catches. He knew he would have to keep an eye on this man. After the annoyances leave, Hayashi voices his concern. What will you do now that you are back, Senju-sama? Naruto smiles. Why? I plan on bringing this village back to its heyday with the help of my dear friend Hiruzen, of course. Everyone smiles, but Shikaka looks at Naruto with a quizzical look. This is troublesome to ask, but why return after all these years, and how do you look so young? You have to be about Hokage-sama's age. Naruto laughs and takes a seat at the table. Well then, since I plan on bringing this village back up to par, I have to trust you all with some secrets. Any? All nod. Well, I will give you a watered-down version, as every ninja has to keep his secrets. Naruto tells what he told Hiruzen in his office. From Mito sealing the QB into him, the seal mistake, and how he sealed himself into the scroll of sealing so that the future generation would prosper. Everyone minus Hiruzen was in shock and actually smiled at the ingenuity of it all. Well, Mito was the best when it came to seals. When did you get so good at them? Koharu asks. Naruto taps his chin. I became a seal master at age 15 and continued my progress when sealed in a limbo-like state, so I guess I can call myself a seal god. Troublesome. Shikaka states while everyone chuckles. It would seem illogical to put you in the academy or test you, Senju-sama. Shibi intelligently states, may I ask what you would like to be rank-wise? Naruto smiles. I would not mind being Jonin with traveling rights. I want to travel from team to team if that is possible, Hiruzen. Said person smiles and nods. No problem at all. In fact, graduation and team placements are tomorrow if you wish to attend. One thing though, how will you announce your return? Naruto laughs. Why? I will just walk around the village like my father did. This will give me the chance to see how security is, the state of the village, and help fellow citizens out with their problems. Everyone nods and accepts the simple but foolproof way of introducing himself back into Konoha and its populace. I see nothing else that needs to be done, so we are all dismissed. Sarutobi states, and all rise and leave the chamber. Hiruzen and Naruto, however, decided to catch up on old times and walk around the village reminiscing about the days of old. Once they were done, Naruto decided to check up on the hospital to see Tsunade for the first time in 50 years. Hospital. Naruto walks into the waiting room, making people gasp as he hears whispers of, is that Hashirama? Or Hashirama's son has returned, but why does he look so young? These remarks make him chuckle a bit, and he goes up to the receptionist and asks to see Tsunade. The lady agrees and Naruto waits for the proverbial tongue lashing he would get. The sound of high heels is heard on the white tile floor and then a gasp as Tsunade looks upon Naruto for the first time in 50 years. That gasp soon turns into anger, and she attempts to pound the daylights out of him. Naruto! How dare you let me suffer? Tsunade yells as she throws a punch. Everyone waits for the impending crash, but it never happens and becomes shocked at what they saw. Naruto catches her hand like it was nothing and does not get pushed back one bit. He starts laughing. Well, it's good to see you too, Tsunade. How have you been? Tsunade puts her fist down and gives the tongue lashing. You come back for this first time in 50 years and that is what you ask? And look at you. I age to an old grandma while you retain your 18-year-old self. So unfair. I wonder if I should use an aging jutsu on you to make you look like Hiruzen is now. You are technically 68 years old. Naruto laughs and puts his hands in the air in defense. That will not be necessary, my surrogate sister. Let's go in your office to discuss what happened, as we have seemed to cause a disturbance for these folks. Tsunade peers over Naruto's shoulder to see the smirking faces of the people in the waiting room as well as others trying to hold back a laugh. She blushes and grabs Naruto's hand. Fine, come on. And it better be a damn good explanation too, you uncouth little shit. The people in the waiting room couldn't hold it in any longer, and they burst out laughing at Tsunade and Naruto's expense. The following day, after Sarutobi and Naruto did their rounds in Konoha, everyone soon spread the news that the son of Hashirama was back, which warmed people's hearts, and soon the flame that dwindled over the many years found a new spark. In time though, it would grow into a blaze. While walking around, Naruto noted that the village was in need of some structural repair, but it was adequate. The security, however, was laughable, and Naruto knew he would have his hands full on that job. Hiruzen let Naruto look over the academy records and curriculum, whom was not impressed as he found that teachers played favorites, and even went so far as to sabotaging others' education. What the genin were taught was laughable as well. Naruto questioned this and Sarutobi went into the long explanation of the Uchiha massacre, which both grew suspicious as parts of the story did not add up. Naruto and Hiruzen vowed to keep a close eye on Danzo's activities from now on. We reach the present and find Naruto and the other Jonin in the Hokage office ready to take their teams for the test, but also to discuss a new training plan courtesy of Naruto. Hello all, I would like to welcome my old friend Naruto Senju back into the land of the living. For those who don't know, he sealed himself in the Forbidden Scroll for a reason I will not explain at this time. The Jonin look at Naruto, who is bearing Hashirama-like armor, and bow, which he returns. Now, I know all of you have the test to give to your students, but Naruto has vowed to bring back the glory days of Konoha like it was back when his father was Hokage, and as such, has devised a training regime for the ones who make it. He also is restructuring other things in the village to get us back to the strength we were at many years ago. Kakashi looks over at Naruto and asks a simple question: may I ask what you have planned, Naruto? Naruto nods yes, but Hiruzen lied to an extent. This training will not only apply to genin but to all ranks. I have devised a training regime for all ranks to follow as they get promoted to further their strength. Each ninja rank has a different regime which gets harder as the rank increases. Asuma nods. That is a sound plan, as I feel that some of our shinobi has become lax in their training, and if I know my history right, your father was a slave driver when it came to training. Hiruzen and Naruto laugh and both reply, you have no idea. And this training will entail what exactly? Kurenai asks. Naruto looks at her. Well, my fair lady, a blush adorns the woman's face. I will use the same method my father taught Hiruzen and I. Physical exercises till you almost pass out, chakra control until your reserves diminish to almost nothing, training in their elemental affinities once they learn them, as the academy decided to skip that part. Hell, Hiruzen and I trained with ours since age 7. Anyway, I will ask the genin to pick a specialty that they want to learn and lead them to talk to their clan head. Of course, the level of exercises and such gets harder as rank increases. Everyone minus Hiruzen and Naruto pale when Guy decides to make his presence known. Senju-sama is filled with youth. YOSH. Naruto laughs. I see that some of you still carry the will of fire Hashirama wanted to see in all of Konoha. The Sandaime clears his throat. As you can tell, this training will produce very strong shinobi in time, and before you ask why such a harsh regiment, you have to realize what era Naruto and I lived in. The warring states. Kakashi interrupted. Both Naruto and Hiruzen nod with a sad smile on their face as he continues. Yes, and as such both of us had to do things we still regret to this day. How you think Naruto got that scar on his face? It is a reminder of how close we came to death during that era, and it still baffles me how he and I survived through it. About our teams, Hokage-sama? Kurenai asks. Sorry, I seem to be telling my past more often with Naruto around. Q laughs from the Jonin and a smirk from said person. Kakashi, you will take Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai. Kurenai will take Hinata, Shino, and Kiba. Asuma, you will take the Ino Shikacho. The Hokage gives the other Jonin their teams and dismisses them, but before Kakashi can leave, Naruto stops him. Hello Kakashi, I have heard about your chronic lateness, and I will be trailing your team, as I will rectify that as well as the last Uchiha's smug attitude. I will not be having you play favorites. I know what's under that headband of yours. Do not dwell on the past, Kakashi, as it only leads to regret. Focus on the future, as the path is much brighter. Now come, let's meet our team, shall we? Kakashi smiles underneath his face mask. Yes, let's, and thank you, Naruto-sama. I can see Hashirama in you and can tell you will bring Konoha back to its previous strength. Naruto nods and sinks into the floor while Kakashi poofs into smoke. All the while Sarutobi shakes his head at Naruto's calm yet stern attitude, much like his father had. Academy, those are your teams. Your sensei shall be in soon. Iruka states, and was about to sit down when the floor to his right ripples and a man comes up from the ground. Greetings, Senju-sama. The class choruses, making him chuckle. Naruto is fine, as I grow tired of hearing the honorific. Are you going to make us strong? A student asks. That depends. Why did you decide to become a shinobi? The boy thinks and replies, I did it to protect my family and Konoha. Naruto smiles. The will of fire is strong within you, and with my training may it grow ever brighter. Other questions go out, and Naruto answers them to the best of his abilities and soon senses Kakashi coming in. Team 7 with me, meet me on the roof. My first impression of you is that you suck. Kakashi poofs out of the area as Naruto laughs at his antics. Come along now, I will escort you to your sensei. Naruto states as he waves over to Sakura, Sasuke, and Sai, whom follow him out the door. Naruto, although young in body, is as wise as Hokage-sama. Such a blessing to have Hashirama's legacy back. Iruka thinks. It was a day after the teams were made up, and now everyone had to administer their own tests to see if these genin were worth keeping in the ranks or sending back to the academy. Naruto decided to use his wood clones so that he could watch everyone take their tests. The real Naruto was with Team 7, as he wanted to break Sasuke's hatred, as he did not want to see another Madara. Kakashi, do you mind if I administer the bell test of yours? Naruto asks. Kakashi smiles, not at all seeming that your father came up with it. Naruto grabs the 2 bells Kakashi hands over and ties them to a back plate on his armor, then describes the bell test to the genin as Kakashi sets an alarm clock down set to go off at noon, 3 hours from now. Now remember, come at me with the intent to kill and don't worry about me. I can handle myself just fine. Your test starts now. All 3 rush into the forest and hide, though Naruto can sense all 3 he is impressed thus far. At least they have an idea of how to stay hidden. Too bad I'm a censor, and they cannot lower their chakra signature. Naruto decides to sit in the clearing waiting for them to make a move. For everyone watching him, they were baffled. In the forest, Sai finds Sakura and voices his thoughts. You know that we cannot take on Hashirama's son solo, so why not help me get the bells? Sakura bites her lip, but what about Sasuke? Sai sighs. Sasuke this, Sasuke that. Look, Has he ever once looked at you with love or gave a damn when you asked him out? Well, no, not really. Sakura says dejected. Good, I think you now see that he will never care for you and hanging around him will make you weak in the long run. All of us need training and that is what Naruto intends to do, but we need to show drive or else he might reject us. Sakura, with tears in her eyes, nods. Yeah, you're right, Sasuke can fend for himself since he thinks he's so mighty. Sai smiles and pats Sakura's back. Good, now let's get those bells. Naruto smiles seeing Sai and Sakura close together trying to formulate some plan, but then hears a roar of fire heading his way and subconsciously brings up a wooden wall to block the fireball coming at his right side. Sasuke, how nice to finally show up. Give me a bell. As an Uchiha I demand it. Naruto lets the wall sink back into the ground. I will get rid of your hate, Sasuke. I will not have another Madara form in my time. Make friends, Sasuke. Let your brother Itachi go and look to the future as it is much brighter. Fuck you, Senju. I will get strong to defeat Itachi and my hate will lead me there and make me strong. Kakashi, Sakura, and Sai gasp at the blatant disrespect to Naruto and are curious to see what he does. Naruto stands and brushes the dust off of his armor, then stretches. Well then, if you think you are so mighty then come, attack me, but I will not move from this spot. In fact, I will only beat you with one finger. Naruto lifts up his right pointer finger into the air, making Sasuke bristle with hate and anger. He rushes towards Naruto intent on beating him to a pulp, but for every punch or kick he makes, Naruto dodges them. After 5 minutes, Sasuke breathes heavily and jumps back and snarls, then rushes again, but before he could get there, Naruto flicks Sasuke in the skull, making him fly back and crash through a couple trees, shocking everyone who is watching. Sakura and Sai knew this was the chance to act. Sai whips out a scroll and draws on it, then adds chakra as Sakura rushes towards Naruto. Super Beast imitation drawing. 4 massive tigers made of ink rush towards Naruto, whom smirks and starts to dodge and punch them so that they would dispel. While doing this, Sakura rushes in and starts to try and throw deceiving punches and kicks at Naruto so that she could get a grasp on the bells. Said person smiled at the plan as he dodged in a way where the bells would not be in reach. He senses another beast drawing come at him and kicks backwards, dispelling it, then turning as Sai rushes forward. Both Sai and Sakura halt what they are doing and try to come up with a plan, but one look at each other, and they knew it had to be made up on the spot. As they rushed forward, a cry rang out, followed by a massive wave of many fireballs. Fire release. Phoenix Sage fire technique. Naruto knew he couldn't dodge as Sakura and Sai would get hurt, so he rushes over and grabs both, then encases himself in a dome of wood, protecting himself and the ones he grabbed. The fireballs soon hit, and Naruto feels the nervousness Sakura and Sai are giving off. Don't worry, you two. You both pass in my books, but now, I have to teach this Uchiha a lesson in humility. Both nod and chorus, thank you, Senju-sama. The dome recedes and Naruto stands glaring at Sasuke, whom is standing 30 feet from him. You disgust me, Sasuke, using your teammates as pawns for your gain. Sasuke sneers, they should be honored to be sacrificed by me. Naruto shakes his head and looks at Kakashi. Take Sakura and Sai away from here a little ways, though enough to where they can watch. I am about to beat a lesson into Sasuke's thick skull. Kakashi nods and I smiles. Have fun, Naruto. He grabs Sakura and Sai and shuns them into the tree line so that they could watch. Naruto takes a deep breath. First lesson, Sasuke. Hate does not bring strength, only darkness, and hinders your abilities. Naruto rushes forward in a blur that even Kakashi's Sharingan had trouble keeping up with. The sound of Sasuke gagging is heard a second later. The three watching look in awe to see Naruto's fist plowed in Sasuke's gut, making him bend over, gasping in breath. Naruto removes his fist and Sasuke collapses on the ground, breathing heavily. Lesson 2. Those that protect and have the will of fire will gain strength and the drive to attain new heights in their strength. Naruto drops his elbow on Sasuke's back, planting him to the ground, making a small crater in the process. He picks up Sasuke by his hair and looks into his eyes, which radiate hate, then looks at the blood seeping out of his mouth. Final lesson: never underestimate an opponent, and never let anger consume you. Naruto throws Sasuke into the air and does one hand sign, producing a small but powerful water dragon out of thin air, and launches it toward him. It connects, sending Sasuke flying through a couple trees and landing onto the forest floor unconscious, bloody, and broken. Truly amazing, to create a water jutsu out of the water particles in air itself. How strong are you, Naruto Senju? Kakashi wonders. Is this the power of a Senju? Ponders Sakura and Sai. Naruto blurs out of existence, and comes back 2 seconds later with Sasuke in tow. He sets him down on the ground and starts applying healing chakra to his body. After 2 minutes, Sasuke groans as Kakashi, Sakura, and Sai come out to greet them. Let's hope that lesson sticks, any? Kakashi says, making Naruto chuckle. Sakura puts her fingers together and shyly asks, can you train me, Senju-sama? I want to be strong like you, and I will take what you told Sasuke to heart. Naruto walks over to her and pats her head, making Sakura giggle. You will go far, Sakura. All you have to do is believe in yourself and I won't train you. Sakura's shoulders slumped and looked downtrodden but brightened as Naruto finished. I won't just train you but all of Konoha's shinobi. I already have a regiment in place for all of our forces at different difficulty levels. Now, Kakashi and I have to give our reports. Please see it that Sasuke gets home alright. Sakura and Sai nod and thank Naruto, and Kakashi then go check on Sasuke to see if he was alright. Naruto and Kakashi look at each other and nod, knowing their job is done. Kakashi vanishes in a swirl of leaves while Naruto uses an Uzumaki whirlpool shunshin to get to the tower. As they vanished, they left Team 7 to contemplate on their future, to contemplate why exactly they became shinobi in the first place. Sasuke was an exception as he still clung onto his hate, but something in the back of his mind was trying to come forward, but alas, poor Sasuke could not hear it. Naruto was about to start changing Konoha for the better, and in time the great tree would rise again. It has been 6 months since Naruto returned, but in that time a lot has changed in Konoha. The security was revamped, the shinobi force was given a workout regimen, and the academy was redone. Granted, each area needed some more tweaking, but all in all, the changes have given great results. No longer did the academy focus on history. The students entered at age 6 and on the first day learned how to unlock their chakra, and for the first year learned how to control it with the leaf balancing and tree walking exercise. The second year the students found their elemental affinity if they had one. If one was not found, then the teachers would work to see if one would show itself in the years to come. This year was dedicated to starting to master their affinity as well as learning some low-level elemental jutsu. The third and fourth year added taijutsu into the mix while continuing what the students learned in years past. Each student was tasked with finding a taijutsu stance that worked with them, not against. The last 2 years was adding everything together as well as learning some history of Konoha and the elemental nations. It was also at this point the students were given the genin workout regimen. Hiruzen Sarutobi was impressed by Naruto's academy revamp and instantly approved it, knowing that the number of genin that would pass would skyrocket as well as lower their death rate. Plus, with the regimen for each shinobi rank meant that the genin that would pass would get stricter but better training and techniques. For security, Naruto proposed that the ANBU and off-duty jonin have shifts to where they would guard certain sectors of Konoha. More resources would be allocated to the important ones like the Hokage Tower and Academy, for example. At first the ANBU were hesitant, but after Naruto discussed this and Hiruzen approved the change, they had no choice but to agree, but over the 6 months they grew to like it. It was also because of this increased security that in the 6 months a number of spies were flushed out of Konoha, which the Hokage was very happy about. In the present, Tsunade and Naruto were sitting at the kitchen table in the Senju home enjoying breakfast before heading out to do their duties for the day. For Tsunade it was hospital work, while Naruto went with Team 7 as they were going to get their first C rank today. Sitting here brings back memories of when your father returned from Yuzu holding your 1-year-old self in his arms. Naruto reminisces. Tsunade sighs, I wish father and mother was here today, but sadly they disappeared after going out on a mission, and after 2 weeks of not returning they were presumed dead. Naruto blinks and in a somber tone, I am sorry for having you remember that. Tsunade waves him off, that was 8 years ago, so it's all in the past. But I want to know about the day he returned from Yuzu. Naruto smiles and nods, very well. I just got done with training for the day when. Flashback. Naruto age 13, 55 years ago. Naruto burst into the family room as happy as can be, ready to tell his father and mother what he just did. Tusan Kasan, I just made a new technique to go with my katana, and Naruto sees his older brother and his mother's sister looking at him, making him blush in embarrassment. Takeo, Akemi, when did you arrive back and who is that in your arms? All laugh, and Takeo, who is 5'8", has short black hair, and is wearing a red and white formal kimono, motions Naruto over. This is Tsunade Senju, your niece, and I want you to take care of her when we can't, okay? Naruto nods and puts his pointer finger out, which Tsunade's small right hand grasps onto, making a goo sound in the process, which made Naruto smile. I will make sure my cousin, no, my surrogate sister, is well taken care of. Takeo. Everyone smiles, and Akemi, who is 5'5", has long flowing red hair, and also wears a kimono like Takei, asks, so, what is this new katana technique you managed to do, and may I see the sword you are using? Naruto nods and unstraps the katana from his back and shows it to her, but with a warning, she gets temperamental when someone else touches her. It is quite alright, she is an Uzumaki and I have no qualms about her inspecting me. Okay, scratch that, she told me that you can inspect her. Mito's sister laughs, then gets up, grasps the hilt, and unsheathes it, then gasps as she now recognizes the blade. Dear Kami Naruto, this is the Raging Whirlpool. How did you get it, or better yet, how did it choose you? Mito and Hashirama smile, already knowing the story, and they watch as Naruto goes into explanation of how he trained with Kenshin over a period of 2 months and giving him a gift after the 2 months were complete. The Raging Whirlpool. Naruto does not explain what the spirit's name is, as said voice told him not to. Akemi smiles and hands back the katana, in which Naruto straps to his back again. You are a most gifted child, Naruto. That blade is rare, and it's rumored that the spirit in that blade can be quite finicky when it chooses a wielder. So, are you going to show us that technique of yours? Naruto nods. Come on, everyone. He yells and runs outside, making everyone laugh. Flashback end. Tsunade is in slight tears at the end of Naruto's explanation, then smiles as she gets an idea. Do you mind showing me this technique? Naruto laughs. Well, why not, and I assume you want to see what my katana looks like as well, huh? Tsunade chuckles. Got me, now let's see that technique. Naruto shakes his head and stands, then motions for Tsunade to follow. They soon arrive at the backyard where some scars from training still remain from years past. Naruto unsheathes Raging Whirlpool, making Tsunade gasp at its sheer beauty. Beautiful, isn't she? Tsunade nods and watches as Naruto get in the Raging Tide stance and close his eyes. They soon snap open and a blue glow surround the blade. Naruto twirls the blade around in his right hand, then grasps it with both, holding it in a reverse grip, then slashes upwards and to the left, screaming out his technique. Raging Whirlpool technique. Tempest Storm. A wave of blue chakra mixed with yellow electricity shoots outward from the blade. A flash of yellow and the sound of thunder is heard as the attack connects with the trees at the far end of the field. Tsunade is in awe at the damage caused. Every tree in a 2-foot radius is cut in half and charred, with some becoming toothpicks. Naruto sheathes his blade and walks over to Tsunade smiling. Pretty cool, huh? More like kick-ass. By the way, has anyone actually survived that technique? Naruto grimaces. Tsunade, believe me when I say this, you do not want to find out what this does to a person, let alone a group of them. I still have nightmares when I had to use this technique on a mob of 20 men that rushed me and my platoon. It was when my father had me go out on a mission when I was 16. That bad? Naruto nods sadly. Let's just go to our posts today. I really don't want to relive that day in my life. Tsunade nods sadly and both head off in the direction of where they need to go. While walking to the hospital, she cannot help but think of the era Naruto and Hiruzen grew up in. The Warring States, such a bloody era to live through. I can see why Hiruzen and Naruto don't like to talk about certain things they did in that time. The things they had to do would be considered unethical in our day and age. Hokage office. The Kami no Shinobi was happily puffing on his pipe, smiling at the clear desk in front of him. The paperwork was completed, all the missions handed out except one, which is a folder on his desk, and all reports from past missions were read and filed away. He is broken from his happy thoughts by a knock on his door. Enter. The door opens and Naruto walks in. Hey Hiruzen, how's it? He looks at the clear desk in front of him. Wow, even my father had a hard time managing getting paperwork done. What's your secret? Hiruzen chuckles. When you become Hokage, maybe I will tell you. Naruto chuckles. Fine old monkey, say where is Team 7 at by the way? I take it that folder is our mission for today. Sarutobi nods and was about to speak when Team 7 enters the room. Speak of the devil, and they shall appear. Naruto laughs and turns to Kakashi. So, how has that regimen I gave each of you 6 months ago working? Sakura has improved on her healing skills and genjutsu, though she wants to learn the secret to you and Tsunade's super strength. Sai has improved on his drawings for his jutsu, and Sasuke, well, he is a mystery. I never saw someone improve that much in 6 months. It's like he's been training for over a year. Naruto and Sarutobi see Sai make a discreet ANBU hand sign saying I will talk to you after. Both get the message and blink back twice saying they got the message. Naruto smiles and replies, well, that's good. How about their physical and taijutsu? Kakashi nods and I smiles. Thanks to your regimen that required each student to have chakra weights. I'd say each with the weights off is almost mid-chunin speed. Oh, and they have all gotten up to water walking for chakra training. Naruto nods. Good. When we get to where we are going, I suggest teaching them kunai balancing/spinning. Kakashi nods and looks at the Hokage-sama. Team 7 ready for a C rank. Said person smiles and hands the folder over, which Kakashi grabs and reads over. You will be escorting a man by the name of Tsunade to Wave Country, and help him finish his bridge, which will increase trade in Konoha and the Land of Fire. Naruto will be the second in charge, but will be taking control of the team if you are injured. Lastly, Naruto has requested that he travel to Yuzu to meet up on some old friends and see the village again. I have given him 2 weeks there, though contact him via summon if you are in danger. Kakashi nods and hands the folder back. I understand, thank you Hokage-sama. After meeting with the client, the Hokage told everyone to leave minus Sai and Naruto. It was time to see what Sai wanted to say. Sarutobi puts up a barrier seal so that they could talk without anyone else hearing what they were going to talk about. Naruto, I want you to meet Sai, my spy in Danzo's root program. Naruto turns to said person and smiles. So, what has the mummy been up to? And I bet it has to revolve around Sasuke, am I right? Sai nods. I would have come to you sooner, but Danzo has been keeping an eye on me to the point where I think he suspects I am leaking information. Anyway, after Sasuke went home after your beating, which I found quite amusing, Danzo supposedly met him at his house and offered him the strength he needed to strike his brother down. Sarutobi and Naruto pale and chorus together. Please tell me he refused. Sai shakes his head. I was there when he came in. His hate for Itachi. And now you Naruto, with his desire to get stronger, won over. Naruto was about to interrupt when Sai puts his hand up. Before you interrupt, it gets much worse than that. Naruto, I don't know how, but Danzo got a hold of your father's genes and injected them into Sasuke. Also, I managed to copy some disturbing documents down that I would like each of you to look at. Sai throws 2 folders onto Sarutobi's desk in which said person starts to read. Naruto groans and palms his face. This is just great. First he dares threaten the integrity of my father's village, and then he somehow gets his genes. What's next? He ordered the Uchiha massacre? Sarutobi looks over at Naruto with a sad smile. Naruto puts his hands in the air in defeat. Oh, come on. Sarutobi puts down the first folder and starts shuffling through the next one and pales at a report he schemes over. He looks at Sai with a stern yet worrisome gaze. Please, pray tell that this report is not true. Hiruzen hands over the report to Naruto, who reads it and growls in anger. Whom hands it to Sai. He reads it and nods. It must be, as Danzo's bandages cover the areas he implanted Sharingans into. Naruto, still seething, this sick fuck needs to be put in his place, but unfortunately now is not the right time to act. I will monitor Sasuke and see if I can break him of his hatred. By the way, what did Danzo teach him? Sai gulps and with a sad yet serious monotone replies to Naruto's question. Rumors were some of Madara's techniques, and this might make your job harder, but he already has a 3-toned Sharingan. Hiruzen sighs. Naruto, please keep a close eye on him. From what Sai already told me about Danzo, his 6 months of training is brutal and makes one strong really fast. If it comes to it, I give you permission to kill on sight. With a sad nod, Naruto accepts. As you wish, Hokage-sama. Anything else to report? Nothing at this time, Hokage-sama. What are my orders? Sai asks. Keep in the shadows and try to make yourself discreet, as you are my most valuable asset in knowing what he has planned. Sai nods and turns to Naruto. Shall we get with our team? Naruto nods and grabs his shoulder. Hold on. This might make you queasy as you're a first-timer. He disappears in an Uzumaki whirlpool Shunshin, leaving Sarutobi to his thoughts. Just what is your gain, Danzo? Why Sasuke? Are you just using him for your own gain or planning something bigger? Where did you go wrong, my old friend? Where did you go wrong? Konoha Gates. A whirlpool Shunshin breaks Team 7 and Tazuna from their thoughts, making them turn to see Naruto and Sai come out of it. Sai, however, looked a little sick. Please don't do that again. Naruto laughs and then looks at Tazuna with a glare, seeing the sake bottle in his hands. No drinking on the mission, Tazuna-san. Hey! Said person yells as Naruto takes his bottle and smashes it on the ground. Sasuke and Naruto lock eyes, both with equal stares that screamed, I will be watching you. Sasuke, dressed in his Shippuden outfit, scoffs and turns away while Naruto looks at Kakashi with a smile. Shall we go, Kakashi? Kakashi nods. Alright team, Tazuna, time to head out. It should take us about 4 days to get there at civilian speed. The first day was uneventful, but Naruto and Kakashi told everyone to stay sharp and do some light training. Sakura asked about the strength the Senju possessed and asked Naruto if she could learn it. Naruto denied her request, saying that she was not ready, but helped her advance on her healing jutsu. Sai decided to practice creating different creatures which he used to scout the area. Sasuke decided to practice his speed and hand signs, which Naruto watched with interest and concern as he recognized what he was doing. The second day was when they ran across a conspicuous-looking puddle which everyone noticed as it had not rained for a week. As the two jumped out of the puddle in an attempt to flay Kakashi, Naruto saw Sasuke jump ahead with hand signs blazing. He tries to tell him to wait, but to no avail. Fire release. Great fire destruction. The demon brothers turn as they feel an intense heat coming their way. Kakashi and Naruto grab Tazuna, Sai, and Sakura to get them to safety. The demon brothers didn't have the chance to scream as the massive wave of fire connected and incinerated them, and setting some of the surrounding forest ablaze. Naruto doused these with a quick water jutsu and walked up to a smirking Uchiha. What the hell were you thinking? You could have gotten all of us killed. That, and we could have gotten information from them. Do you even think before you act? Sasuke looks at Naruto and sneers with his Sharingan blazing. Get out of my way, Senji, you are of no concern to me. Kakashi speaks up next, but you are a concern to the mission. I will report this to the Hokage, as you endanger not only the client but your teammates and superiors as well. Sasuke sneers and gets back in formation with his team ready to continue. For Sakura, this was the final nail in the coffin for her love for Sasuke. After seeing his brash attitude, no longer was Sasuke an obsession, he was now a potential enemy. Tazuna looks at the glares Naruto and Kakashi were giving him and knew what they wanted. Okay, quit the glaring, I will tell you what you want. Naruto and Kakashi chuckle. Wave only has enough money for AC rank, as this man called Gato is sucking us dry, even with the monthly stipends that Yuza sends us. Please, I have a grandson and daughter to look after. Naruto and Kakashi nod to each other, knowing what to do. Well, good news, Tazuna-san. I will be heading to Yuza, so I will rectify your poor situation while meeting with the Uzukage. Kakashi finishes for Naruto, which means we will continue with the mission, but you will pay us for a possible A rank, as the demon brothers tend to follow Zabuza. Tazuna starts to cry. Thank you. I will not let you down. Another day of rest and light training and a boat ride near the bridge. They were almost to their destination. As they were walking down the path, Kakashi and Naruto heard something flying in the air. Get down! Kakashi screams as everyone ducks minus Naruto, who unsheathes his katana and deflects the massive sword out of the way. It embeds in a tree behind him. Well, I see we have someone with shit. I did not sign up for this. Zabuza says as he sees Naruto in his armor with his katana drawn. Naruto chuckles. You must be Zabuza, and I must ask that you kindly go about your own way and not harm our client. Fuck that. I got a Hashirama clone in front of me and haven't had a good sword fight in a long while. How about a deal? You win and my companion and I join you, but if I win I get your client and kill Sharingan no Kakashi and his team. Naruto looks over to Kakashi, whom nods in approval. It seems my captain agrees to your demands, but I warn you, you will not succeed in beating me. Zabuza laughs and jumps from his sword and takes it out of the tree. You're only 18 years old. I doubt you will match Hashirama's prowess. Naruto smirks. Wanna know a secret, Zabuza-san? Fine, I'll bite. I'm his son. Naruto rushes forward as he says this, making Zabuza's eyes widen. Bahaha, look at his face. It's priceless. Kick his ass, Kit. With pleasure. Zabuza blocks an overhead slash with his Zanbato, then jumps as Naruto tries to take out his knees. Naruto jumps back as Zabuza brings his Zanbato downward in an attempt to slice him in half. Naruto charges up his katana, making it glow blue, and hardens his glare, then rushes forward in a blur. Zabuza brings his sword parallel to his body in hopes of blocking it, but then hears the click of Naruto's katana being sheathed behind him. Raging whirlpool technique. Ocean's fury. The sound of waves crashing into the shore is heard, then a blood-curdling scream from Zabuza, who is now littered with multiple cuts which bleed heavily. Naruto turns to Zabuza in the raging tide stance with his right hand on the hilt of his katana. Care to continue, Zabuza? Zabuza grunts as he turns to face Naruto. I have to admit you're good, though I shouldn't be surprised if you are Hashirama's son. Round 2, Naruto nods and both rush in at the same time. Naruto unsheathes his katana in a blur and blocks a strike at his right side, then another at his knees. Soon the air is filled with the sound of sword against sword, with sparks flying wherever they hit. Naruto's playing with him, Kakashi states as everyone watches in wonder. How do you know that? It looks like he's going all out to me? Sakura retorts. Sai shook his head. No, you saw the speed Naruto used with his Ocean's Fury technique. He was all but a blur, but now we can clearly see him. He is currently at Zabuza's level. How strong are you, Senju? I will get stronger to defeat my brother, and then I will come after you. Danzo better give me what I want or his head is mine. Sasuke cedes. Kakashi nods at Sai's explanation, then all hear another scream. It was from Zabuza. All gasp at what they saw. Naruto was crouched low, holding his katana in reverse grip, which was currently through Zabuza's side. The water both were standing on was turning purple as Zabuza's blood drips from Naruto's blade and the wound. Zabuza chuckles. That hurts, Gaki. Alright, you got me. First blood wins. Naruto smiles and takes his katana out, making Zabuza grunt in pain. Be thankful I missed a vital. Now let me heal that wound of yours. Naruto whips his blade out to the side, cleaning it, then sheathes it. He puts his green glowing hands to the wound, healing it. Just don't do anything extraneous for the next day or the wound might reopen. Now come along. We have to get Tsunade to wave while I go to Yuzu. Zabuza nods and waves over to a tree on the far side of the bridge, and what looks like a hunter Nin comes over. This is Haku, a survivor of the bloodline wars in Kiri. I went rouge after Yagura, who is the three-tailed Jinchuriki, beat me when I tried assassinating him. Something isn't right, Naruto. Isabu is not known to be this violent. When you get to Yuzu, I would ask the Uzukage about this, and then send something to the Hokage about it. Great, it seems I have to save a village, just great. At least I will help a fellow Jinchuriki. Zabuza waves a hand in front of Naruto's face. Hello Earth, to send you? Naruto laughs. Sorry, I was just conversing with a certain fox. Thank you for telling me this, as I now have something to do. Come along, I will take you to Kakashi and the team. Zabuza and Haku nod, with both wondering who this fox is and decided to think on it later. They follow Naruto, who then introduces them to Kakashi and Team 7. Glad to have you aboard, Zabuza, Haku. And no, Sasuke, we are not killing them, as your enemies can sometimes end up as your friends. Kakashi states. Naruto smiles. Well, thanks to some information Zabuza gave me, I need to head to Yuzu as soon as possible, and eventually Kiri to do my own business there. Tsunade, would you please escort Team 7, Zabuza, and Haku to your home? I need to talk to Kakashi alone. Tsunade nods. Sure thing, Naruto-san. Come on kids, let's go. After the group is out of earshot, Kakashi turns to Naruto. What you need, Naruto? Promise me to keep an eye on Sasuke. He is starting to go on a path Madara himself went down, and I would hate to have to kill him on sight for going against a superior's order. Kakashi's eye widens. You can't do that. You would be imprisoned or put to death. Naruto nods. Yes, but per Hokage-sama's instructions I can do such task if need be. Just promise me that you will. I can leave a wood clone here if you wish. Oh, okay then, I see. Kakashi stutters. If you would not mind, that would be much appreciated. So, when might you be coming back to Konoha? Naruto shrugs. Depends. My tenant wants me to help Yagura, who holds the three-tailed. Details of which I will not go into, as there might be prying eyes about. Once I get to Yuzu, I will send a letter to Hiruzen about my extended personal mission. Tenant as in the... Naruto interrupts Kakashi. Yes, but I want that kept a secret between me, Hiruzen, the clan heads, and you. Not everyone needs to know about that, and I want to keep it that way. I would catch up with your team. I will see you once I return. Kakashi nods. Good luck, Naruto. As to you. Naruto creates a wood clone which follows Kakashi, then he heads off to Yuzu at full speed. Uzukage Tower. 30 minutes later. A relatively young woman with flowing red hair and purple eyes is sitting at the desk doing paperwork. A knock on her door interrupts her, and sees the secretary pop her head into the office. Uzukage-sama, a Naruto Senju is here to see you. The lady's eyes widen. Well, by all means send him in. Naruto walks in with a smile on his face. I see Karen is not the Uzukage anymore, and am saddened to think that she has passed on. The Uzukage nods. Unfortunately she has done so, and shouldn't you be older? Naruto laughs. That is a long story, but I will tell you it if I can get your name, and if you show me around to some old friends of mine that taught me 50 years ago. My name is Kushina Uzumaki, Senju-sama, and I would love to show you around. If you don't mind, who was your senseis? Naruto bows. Nice to meet you, Kushina-sama. And my senseis was Daisuke, Kenshin, and Yuzuki. She was already elderly 50 years ago, and am saddened that she too has passed. Kushina nods. Karen gave high regard about you, as everyone talks about the day you would return. Kenshin and Daisuke wonder what happened to you, and I bet they would be glad to meet you again, and if rumors are right I take it that you are the holder of the Raging Whirlpool. Naruto nods. Got me. Oh, and before we go I need to send a letter off to Hiruzen, my old friend and Hokage of Konoha, as I have business in Kiri to do. Also, Gato has been taking your stipend money and is making wave a dilapidated country. Kakashi and his team is already there helping with that situation, but I suggest sending your own. Kushina nods. Very well, I will have a couple squads of my A and BU sent out to give Wave much needed food and supplies, and I will suggest a mission to Kakashi's team to take out Gato. Naruto smiles as he starts to write his letter after Kushina supplied the paper and pen. He finishes the letter soon after and has it sent via messenger hawk. Ready to go, Senju-sama? Naruto is alright. I grow tired of the honorific. Kushina nods. Well then, I guess a reunion is at hand. Naruto follows Kushina out of the office. A reunion it shall be. As Kushina and Naruto walk around Yuzu, they chat about their past a little, which makes emotions go every which way. Some of the older residents recognized Naruto and quickly ran off to spread the word that Hashirama's son has returned. By day's end it was sure to be spread around the entirety of the village. So let me get this straight. You and Mito screwed up on a seal which made both of you peer into the future. You got a fox in your gut, and the reason you look 18 is that you put yourself in stasis for the last 50 years. Naruto nods. Yep, that about sums it up. I may look 18, but I am as wise as an old man. Kushina chuckles. Well, since you divulged a serious part of your past, I guess I will go next. She sighs and steels herself, for the secret Kushina was about to spill was heart-wrenching and basically the reason why she became Yuzakage. This is not easy for me to retell, so please bear with. It involves why I became Yuzakage in the first place. Naruto nods and puts a hand on Kushina's shoulder to reassure her. Thank you. I once had a lover who gave me that love in return, though he was a bit stubborn at first. Anyway, him and I got off to a great start, and was about to get married and have a child, but that's when the Third Shinobi War broke out, and my world crumbled around me. Flashback. Third Shinobi War. Hold the line. Don't let IWA get past us. Kushina yells out. Clangs of sword against sword are heard with the screams and stench of the dying. Blood ran like a river on the field, making red mud. Jutsu of various elements rained down upon each side, causing mass destruction. The sealing prowess of the Uzumaki bolstered their own jutsu, and managed to redirect others toward the caster. It was an all-out jutsu and kenjutsu frenzy, and both sides seemed to be at a stalemate. Kushina ducks under a slash of a katana and kicks out the man's knee, making him buckle. She follows up by ramming the blade through the man's left eye and out the back of the head. After kicking the body off, she backflips to avoid a pillar of earth intent on impaling her, then rushes forward in an attempt to push Yuzu and its forces forward. A yell at the flank makes her curse. Kushina Tashu, our forces in the flank is falling. If reinforcements don't arrive soon, we might not survive this day. Kushina makes chakra chains fly out from her body, grabbing opposing forces and flinging them like they were made of paper. Some she crushed while others she impaled. Keep pressing onwards. We have no choice but to hold off. For Yuzu! For Yuzu! The other forces reply back with gusto. The battle rages on for another 10 minutes. Yuzu forces were starting to dwindle and all hopes seemed lost when Kushina spotted a yellow flash in the distance, followed by a scream of someone dying. She smiles, knowing that they were saved, and others soon knew that to be so as they saw a salvo of tri-pronged kunai fly through the air and land in the midst of the enemy. Soon flashes of yellow were seen all around, with the splash of blood and scream from the dying enemy. All of Yuzu and the other forces cheered, seeing the yellow flash in action. Within minutes the flashes stop and the massive IWA force was nothing more. The battleground goes quiet for the first time in what seemed like hours. Kushina flicks the blood off her katana and sheathes it, then runs up to Minato, but notices he is having a hard time staying on his feet. Kushina soon knows why as she catches him in her arms. Minato's body was littered with deep cuts and bleeding profusely. He was also breathing hard due to chakra usage and blood loss. Kushina cries, seeing her soon-to-be husband in this state. Come on, Minato-kun, stay with me. We can get you healed up. Minato smiles and looks up at Kushina. He puts a hand on her chin. No, I am too far gone. That last battle was more intense than we first realized, and I used too much chakra helping you and your forces out. Minato coughs up a massive amount of blood and his eyes start to glaze over. Now in full tears, Kushina cries out, don't you die on me, Minato. We were going to have a family, please. I can get you the help you need. Coughing and growing weaker by the moment, Minato motions for Kushina to get close, which she does. In a raspy voice, Minato speaks his last words. Promise me to live on with your life and find a person like me to marry and have a family with. One that we couldn't have. Minato coughs out more blood, his eyes getting cloudier by the second. Kushina tries to form the words but cannot, and with his last bit of energy kisses her on the lips, then perishes in her arms. Kushina couldn't take it, and cried to the heavens as the remaining Yuzu forces and the Konoha ones from the last battle all gathered round the grieving Kushina, in which they grieved with. Flashback end. Naruto was comforting a crying Kushina with a hug and an occasional rub on her back. Sure, it's alright, Kushina, you can let it out, and I am sorry for your loss. If you want someone to help you get over this, then maybe I can be the one to help. Smooth, try to get her on a date while she's grieving, like that's going to work. Shut it, Kurama. Watch and learn, though I do feel bad taking advantage of this situation. Kushina looks up with red puffy eyes and sniffs. Are really, you would do such a thing for me? Others have tried, but I couldn't even stomach loving any of them. Naruto smiles and looks down upon her 5'4" frame. I will try, and maybe I am the one Minato was talking about. But you're 68 years old. Kushina wipes his tears as Naruto chuckles. Only in mind, my dear. I am but just an 18-year-old kid. Kushina smiles. But I am 25. Does that not seem a bit odd to you? Naruto shakes his head. All sake ripens with age, Kushina. And you are no exception. Kushina punches Naruto in the arm playfully with a blush. You teaser, you. Fine, I will try a date with you once and see how it goes. Naruto splutters a date. Oh come on, ha! Told you it would work. Naruto mentally laughs at Kurama's grumbling. Kushina smiles. What? I thought that's what you were implying, Naruto-kun. She purrs at the end, making Naruto blush. Naruto laughs nervously. Okay, fine, I will go on a date with you to see how it goes. I got 2 weeks here after all. Yay! Kushina happily states, her sadness all but gone. The two look around now, noticing that a crowd gathered around them. Both turn red as a tomato and quickly shun Shin out of the area, making said crowd burst into laughter. With Team 7, Zabuza, and Haku, Kakashi was talking with Zabuza inside as Team 7 and Haku was training out in the backyard. Now that both former enemies were on their side, Kakashi had no idea what to do. So, as we help Tsunade finish this bridge, what do we do about Gato? Zabuza smirks underneath his bandages. That fat fuck? Well, I bet by tomorrow he will be ranting and raving about how Tsunade is still alive and might hire some more missing nin. Kakashi deadpans. Great, I guess he might send thugs after his family as well. What do you think, Naruto? The wood clone forms out of the wall, scaring the shit out of Zabuza, making Tsunade and Tsunami, whom were sitting at the dining room table, chuckle. When he get here? Zabuza yells, holding his heart. You almost gave me a heart attack. Clone Naruto chuckles. Oh, me, I'm just a clone. Boss is still at Yuzu. Anyway, I can guard the house at any time, so no worries there. And Sasuke is out training and luckily restraining himself from catching the forest on fire. Kakashi nods. How's his attitude though? Clone Naruto shrugs, talks to himself about destroying me and his brother. Kakashi-sensei, I demand help. Kakashi and Zabuza groan and see Naruto's clone melt back into the wall. I guess I will help Sasuke, as he won't shut up until I do. At least Naruto will be watching over me just in case. Zabuza nods seriously. His attitude reminds me of the rumors I heard of Madara. Kakashi gives a stern glare to Zabuza, and that is what Naruto and I are trying to avoid. Come along if you want to see a beating. Oh goody. I love seeing a person being put in his place. Naruto's clone, which was in the wall, sweat drops at Zabuza's 180 attitude and decides to watch over to see what Sasuke wanted Kakashi to do. As Kakashi and Zabuza was walking out to the backyard, and Yuza and Bu shun Shins in front of them, making both go on guard. Hold, I am not your enemy. Are any of you Kakashi of Team 7? Kakashi lowers his guard and steps forward. Hi, and you are. Anbu from Yuzu. I have orders from my Yuzukage to give you this mission statement. You will all be paid accordingly. The Anbu holds out the letter, which Kakashi takes and reads it over, and I smiles. Thank you, Anbu-san. Tell the Yuzukage that we will take the mission. The Anbu nods. Hi. Also Naruto-sama gives his regards. Thank you, Anbu-san. I will need it. The Anbu shun Shins just as Team 7 and Haku congregate around Kakashi and Zabuza. Who was that, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asks. Mission from the Yuzukage. She wants us to take out Gato and his men. I hope you are ready for real ninja work, because this will involve killing. Sakura pales and looks worried, but Sai puts a reassuring hand on her shoulder, making her smile. Sakura might have issues about it, but I will make sure she is protected. Sai states, making Kakashi nod. Sasuke smirks, knowing he would get his wish at killing more people, while Haku and Zabuza have the light bulb go off in their head, which Kakashi notices. What's got you all giddy? Well, remember that we once worked with Gato. We can go inside and convince him that Wave is going to make a rebellion. If that Anbu indicated anything, I'd say that Yuzu is here to give aid to them. Haku finishes for Zabuza. Gato's forces will run into Anbu and Naruto's clone, which means that your team has less killing to do. I know that look when some people are not ready. Kakashi scratches the back of his head and hums. I think that would work out nicely. Well, team, I suggest preparing for this. Zabuza, Haku, how much time do you need? I would say about 4 days, but the problem will be showing that Tsunade is taken care of. Zabuza responds. Clone Naruto melds out of a tree, freaking everyone but Zabuza and Kakashi out, which makes him chuckle. Although I'm a clone, I could make a faux Tsunade that will talk in his voice. Once you give Tsunade to Gato, behead my clone when he orders to. I can keep up the clone to make it look realistic. Haku, Kakashi, and Zabuza nod, and everyone watches in wonder as multiple branches of wood forms off of the clone's right side and soon turn into a replica of Tsunade. Sake bottle and all. How's this? Clone Tsunade tests out his voice. Med to high. Sakura states. The clone lowers his voice, one with a drunken slur. I am the super bridge builder Tsunade, and I expect super protection. Sasuke slightly smirks while everyone else bursts into laughter. Oh ho ho, that is definitely a damn gaki, you're good. Zabuza chortles. Clone Tsunade takes a swig of his bottle and stumbles towards Zabuza, which takes the bottle and smashes it on the ground, bursting into wood splinters. Another one soon forms and the clone takes another swig. Hey, you never going to get my sake? Zabuza and Haku shake their head while Haku comments on the clone's breath. You even smell drunk, Kami. Let's just go and get this over with. Kakashi nods and the Tsunade clone salutes, then follows Zabuza and Haku to Gato's hideout while Kakashi claps his hands and turns toward his team. Time to get training. Tsunami interrupts. Time for lunch. Right after lunch, Kakashi finishes and motions for his team to head inside. Konoha, Hokage Tower. A hawk pecks at the window, which Sarutobi opens and lets the hawk jump onto his hand. He sees a message attached to its right leg and takes it off, then motions for the hawk to go, which it does with a quick call. Sarutobi closes the window, then unrolls the message and begins to read. Dear Hiruzen Sarutobi or Hokage-sama, I am currently at Yuzu with Kushina Uzumaki. the current Yuzukage. Before coming here I fought Zabuza and won a bet in which he and his accomplice Haku joined Team 7 to help Tsunade out. Zabuza gave me information about Yagura and the Bloodline Wars. Come to find out Yagura holds the Three Tails and my tenant says that his actions are not normal. I write to you for permission to go to Kiri and help retake it while attempting to get Yagura on Konoha and Yuzu's side via treaty contract. Please respond back soon. Naruto Senju. Sarutobi puts down the message and chuckles lightly. It never is easy with you around, and Naruto? Well, with Yuzu already on our treaty, Kiri wouldn't hurt. I wonder if Wave will think about one as well. Doesn't hurt to ask. He pulls out a piece of paper and a pen and starts to write back. The message would reach Yuzu by day's end to give Naruto the response he needed. Good luck, Naruto. I give you the best of luck with Kiri and the three-tailed beast. I wonder if I should ask Jiraiya to come back to update me on what he found with his spy network. The Chunin exams are coming up in 8 months and it's best to be prepared. He finishes with Naruto's message and starts on one for Jiraiya, hoping the information he would find out is good. He also wonders if the next book of a certain series was soon to come out. After a few minutes, he finishes with the last message and calls a couple hawks and ties the messages to them, then sends them out. Sighing to himself, he props his feet on his desk, opens a drawer, and pulls out an orange book and some tissues. You dirty Keiko-chan, you perverted giggle. With Zabuza and Haku, Gato's office. Zabuza and Haku come into Gato's office with clone Tsunade in tow, which plays the part of looking drunk and nervous. Gato, who is sitting behind his desk, smirks and claps his hands. I knew you two would do well. Now we have to take care of the part of the bridge that was already built. You will not put your grimy hands on my bridge. Once I die, my village is sure to rise against you, Gato. I promised you that. Gato glares, then smirks at clone Tsunade. Well, I will be sure to send my condolences to your family and quell this uprising before it starts. Leave my family out of this. Zabuza, be a kind soul and shut this drunken bastard up. Zabuza nods and chops the clone on the back of the neck, knocking him out. It being a wood clone makes it stay intact. Gato then turns to both and asks about this uprising. Is this uprising true? I highly doubt they would dare challenge me and my personal army. Haku nods his head. Some villagers saw us with Tsunade and started to spread the word that their icon was stolen and that they would gather forces. It was a white lie that hopefully Gato bought. Being the money-hungry and overzealous man that he is, Zabuza's and Haku's fears were quelled. How long? And I told you to be discreet. Zabuza clears his throat. I am not sure, Gato, but I would guess in 4 days that they would have a group big enough to severely cripple your men. Gato smiles. Good, then I will take 3/4 of my force and train them so that they can raze the village to the ground and kill everyone in sight 4 days from now. As for Tsunade, put him in a holding cell with no light and view of the outside world. We will execute him before my men head out. Our agreement, Gato. Surely you have not forgotten our monetary compensation. Zabuza growls out. Gato grumbles under his breath but unlocks a small safe underneath his desk and throws 2 bags of currency toward the 2 which they catch. I will have my men watching you and expect both of you to participate in raising wave in 4 days. You are dismissed. Zabuza and Haku nod while they exit the office and head to the dungeon to put Tsunade's clone in a cell per Gato's instructions. The clone gives a thumb up and a wink to both, which they give a smile in return. Gato, what a sick fuck he is. To think I actually agreed to work for him in the first place. Leave a village to rot by sucking them dry, and once done with them you raze it to the ground, killing men, women and children. I will have fun flaying your flesh from your body once I get my hands on you. Zabuza angrily thinks. 4 days later, Yuzu. It's been 4 days since Naruto got the letter back from Hiruzen giving him the go-ahead with his side mission. It was also 4 days since he had a heartfelt reunion with Daisuke and Kenshin. Both were quite old, and even though they wanted to spar with Naruto, who explained to them why he was so young and why he went missing, their elderly frame would not be able to handle the stress. Naruto, Kenshin, and Daisuke all decided to head to lunch and reminisce about the past while Kushina went back to the Hokage Tower to do more paperwork. Thanks to this meeting, Naruto had a better understanding of what to expect in this era and how things have changed since he sealed himself. The reunion lasted for 3 hours, but it was time well spent. Currently, Naruto was getting ready for his date with Kushina, which Kurama still couldn't believe happened. He was given a room in Kushina's estate for the 2 weeks he would spend here. As Naruto got dressed in his black dress pants, blue dress shirt, and black shoes, he felt something deep inside of him, a connection of sorts to Kushina. He wanted this feeling to last and hoped the date would go well and for many more to come. A knock on his bedroom door interrupts his thoughts. Naruto, are you ready to go? Kushina asks from the other side of the door. Just a moment. Naruto responds back as he finishes tying his shoe, then opens the door only to blush at what Kushina was wearing. Dressed in red and white skirt with a top to match that revealed her slightly large assets and sandals, Kushina was drop-dead gorgeous. Add that her long red hair was in a high ponytail, and that her purple eyes were sparkling, it only added to Naruto's blush. Striking a provocative pose, does Naruto-kun like what he sees? Naruto splutters then grins. Very much so. Let's go, Kushina-chan. He offers his hand, which Kushina takes, and both walk out of the home and head off to a restaurant of Kushina's choosing. As they were walking, the villagers smiled at the sight of Kushina going out with Hashirama's son, and wondered if he would be the one to make their Yuzukage's life complete again. Restaurant. As the two enter the restaurant, the greeter instantly recognizes the two and picks up 2 menus and motions for them to follow. Kushina and Naruto are eventually led to a private room where there is only one table meant for two. The table is covered in a white cloth with a vase of roses in the middle with 2 candles off to the side. Silverware and place settings are on either side of the table, while romantic music plays in the background. After the two take their seats, the greeter hands them the menus. Take as much time as you need and your waiter will be in soon to take your orders. Have a wonderful time. After looking through the menu, both eventually decided what they would have, and just in time as the waiter came in ready to take their orders. Hello, my name is Hiroshi and I will be your waiter today. Are both of you ready to place your orders? Naruto nods. Thank you, Hiroshi-san. I would like the gyudon, stewed beef, danburi, and a bottle of your finest sake. Hiroshi writes it down and turns to Kushina. And for you, Yuzukichi-sama? Kushina is fine and I would like the sashimi with a side of rice, please. The waiter writes that down as well. Anything else, Naruto-sama? Kushina-sama? Kushina smiles and looks at Naruto, whom smiles in return. Nothing else, Hiroshi-san. You may place our orders. Said person nods and heads out of the room to do as told as Kushina and Naruto look at each other, both wondering who would break the ice first. It was a tense 2 minutes that seemed to last forever, but Kushina decided to speak up first. So, I've been meaning to ask, what were the warring states like to live in? I have only heard stories from Karen when she was still alive, and read some accounts from the history books. Naruto sadly frowns. It's not an easy thing for me to explain, as the things I had to do still haunt me to this day. Kushina smiles and puts her hands onto Naruto's. If you don't want to talk about it, it's alright, I can understand. Naruto shakes his head. No, I cannot keep this side of me bottled up. Like my father told me, don't dwell in the past as the future is much brighter. Well, here I am in the future and it is a much brighter time from the era I came from. Kushina sadly nods and takes her hands off of Naruto's, then points to his scar. You can start about telling me about that scar of yours if you want. Naruto takes a finger and traces the scar going down his right eye, which stopped at the chin, then sighs. He goes into the explanation about what he and Hiruzen had to do that day and how he became overconfident in his abilities, earning him the scar and luckily keeping his eye. Naruto also explained other skirmishes in which he was ordered to massacre entire clans that threatened Konoha and other allies as well. Naruto explained everything in gruesome detail, to how blood ran like a river and how the stench of death seemed to always linger in the air. Kushina instantly felt saddened by what she had Naruto do. I'm sorry I had to make you relive some painful memories. I can see now that losing Minato was not bad at all, seeming you had to go through so much more. Please don't say that losing Minato was not that bad. He was your first and only lover and I can tell you still care for him. And I thank you for making me get this burden off my chest. I feel lighter and more happier than before. Naruto quips with a jovial yet serious tone. Kushina nods and smiles lightly, then feels something within her. A feeling of connection, one that Naruto had before leaving together. What is this feeling? I haven't felt such a thing since Minato and I got together. Could it really be? Can I finally achieve Minato-kun's final wish? Her thoughts are broken by the waiter coming in with the food and sake, which make Kushina and Naruto smile. Here are your meals, please enjoy. If you need anything, just ask, and I will be glad to help. Naruto nods. Thank you, Hiroshi-san. After the waiter leaves, Naruto pours a glass of sake for him and Kushina. They make a toast to Minato and down the sake before filling the glass again and setting them on the table. Over the course of the meal, Kushina and Naruto both fed each other while having some small talk about the past and also what plans were for the future. Laughs are had, the meal was satisfying, and the sake all but gone. As they sat next to each other resting after a good meal, they grasped hands once again and enjoyed the relative silence as they looked into each other's eyes with a slight blush. Soon though, Naruto paid for the meal and both headed back home to retire for the evening. I really had a good time tonight, Naruto, and I think that you may be the one Minato was talking about. Kushina states, holding Naruto's hand as they walk back home. Naruto shakes his head. Please don't rush into things. I know Minato meant a lot to you, so I will give you all the time in the world for you to decide whether I am the one or not. If it's not meant to be, then such is the way of life. We will continue on, yet our bond will last in friendship. Kushina sadly nods and sighs. Yeah, you're right. It's just I feel this connection of sorts to you, one I have not felt since I met Minato. I don't know if it was a fluke, or just me going on a date for the first time in many years. Naruto opens the front door and leads Kushina inside with him following. Just think about tonight, Kushina. I won't dishonor Minato's final wishes to you, so take your time. I will be here forever waiting. Kushina smiles and pecks Naruto on the cheek, making him blush. Thank you, Naruto-kun. I have a lot to think about. Good night. Good night, Kushina-chan. With Team 7 and Kakashi, Tazuna, Tsunami, Inari, and Team 7 were all sitting at the table going over the plans for the raid that would commence at the break of dawn. Just as Gato's forces would move into wave, Naruto's Tazuna clone sent back the information which he then relayed to Kakashi. In these 4 days, Inari got a good talking to about suffering and living in the past by Naruto. Now Inari insisted on calling him brother, which made Naruto laugh and feel warm inside. Also during this time, Naruto decided to talk to Sai about what Danzo actually taught Sasuke and what his potential plans were. Sai gave an explanation to the best of his abilities, but some answers he did not have at the moment. Flashback 2 days ago. Clone Naruto was watching Team 7 spar and saw Sasuke use what looked like the beginnings of Madara's unique taijutsu style. Seeing this, It was time for some answers and only one person knew them. Sai, can I talk to you for a moment inside? Sai stops his spar with Sasuke and turns to Naruto, then had to duck under a cheap shot. Naruto shot a glare at Sasuke with some ki which made him back off. Sai thanks Naruto and follows him inside where a barrier seal is put up. What do you need, Naruto-sama? Information, Sai, about what Sasuke's training entailed. I need to know whatever you know before trying to straighten things out. Sai shakes his head. That might be impossible to do since he has your father's DNA, which is rumored to give Sasuke what Madara had near the end of his life, the Rinnegan. Naruto's eyes widen and steps back in shock, the eyes of the sage. Impossible. Sai shakes his head no, and to make it worse, Danzo is trying to find out how to activate it so that his training can be up to the next level. Hell, he is even setting something up to where Sasuke can get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto finishes with anger in his voice, which would further his path of hatred. Damn it, Danzo, just what are you planning? Do you want to hear more, Naruto-sama? Naruto laughs. Sure, what can be worse than I already heard? The fact that he is commissioning someone to make Madara-like armor and his weapons, that, and he's told Sasuke to grow out his hair so that in time he resembles him. As to his plans, I have not gotten that far into my investigation. Naruto palms his face and groans. Great, just great. So let me get this straight. Danzo is having Sasuke get taught what Madara basically had in his arsenal, as well as molding him into an almost carbon copy of the guy. Sai nods yes, and I suggest having Anbu trail him once we get back from this mission. I fear his hate will only escalate in time, and if his MS awakens, then can he help us all? Naruto takes a deep breath and smiles. Both knew it was a facade to hide the true emotion within. Thank you, Sai. You are a most valuable asset and offer my hand at working with you to take Danzo down. Sai shakes Naruto's outstretched hand. I will accept your offer, Naruto-sama. When I joined Root and the Sandaime found me after a failed mission, he had his students Jiraiya and Tsunade help. One healed me while the other took the controlling seals off, though kept false ones in place. Danzo has undermined your father's village and will gladly stand by and help you raise it back to its heyday. Naruto smiles with tears in his eyes. They were not of sadness but one of happiness. Thank you, Sai. A great ally you will be. Flashback end. Sai breaks from his thoughts and turns to Kakashi with a smile, noticing that he was looking at him. Sai, were you even paying attention? Sai smirked and decided to have a little fun. You say something, Kakashi-sensei? Kakashi's sweat dropped while Sasuke smirked, and everyone else broke out into laughter seeing Kakashi's own words used against him. Kakashi clears his throat. Well then, I guess I will have to go over these plans again as Sai was. Sai interrupts again, lost on the road of life. Kakusahi glares at him as snickers are heard from Tsunade's family, and his team as well as Naruto, who was merged with the wall. Will you quit that? Kakashi reprimands, then takes a deep breath. Like I said before, I was interrupted. Here is what we are going to do. The sun was beginning to rise in Konoha and people were starting to wake up, though one person has been up for a while doing what he hates the most. A tap on the window alerts Hiruzen and breaks him from his paperwork. He glances over and smiles. Sarutobi opens the window to let a man with long white hair and red lines down his face into his office. Jiraiya, you made good timing. Well, when your letter sounds that urgent, I had no choice, sensei. What seems to be the problem? Sarutobi sighs and leans back in his chair, then sets up a barrier seal. As you know, Sai has become my personal spy en route and tracking Danzo's movements. Up until now, when my old friend Naruto came back, Danzo lied low and only trained his men. A switch seemed to flip in his mind or something, seeing a powerful Senju living again, and acted, dragging Sasuke into his program. Jiraiya strokes his long white hair and takes a seat across from Sarutobi. How bad can it be? I know Sasuke holds a lot of hate towards his brother unless Danzo did something I don't know about. He did do something worse. Sarutobi takes the 2 files Sai copied and handed them to his old student. Go through those and see what I mean. As Jiraiya reads the files, he pales, then grows angry. Why haven't you acted on this sooner? Don't you think I know that? Sarutobi yells out, look, Danzo manipulated Sasuke into hating Naruto after he got a beating from said person. I don't know how, but he managed to get Hashirama's genes and inject them into Sasuke, and not only that, he is molding him into the next Madara. I was scared to act, Jiraiya. I didn't know how to go about apprehending Danzo without possibly starting a civil war in Konoha. Sasuke possibly becoming the next Madara is scary and all, but you're the damn Hokage, so become that title that you once were and march in there, kick ass and take names. Sarutobi sighs. Look at me, Jiraiya. I'm 68 years old and lost most of my power thanks to the Civilian Council pulling a fast one as I grew soft. Yes, Naruto, and I rectified that, but the power I once had is just not up to par like it once was. Jiraiya sadly smiles. Then let me help you, sensei. I can take a break from my spy network for a while and help you gain that power back you once had. Taking down Danzo is only the first step in a lengthy process. Sarutobi smiles. If that is what you wish, then I will not stop you. Any help this old monkey can get would be greatly appreciated. I'm getting too old for this shit. So, about Danzo then. How would you like to go about this? Jiraiya smiles. Show the fire daimyo the evidence which will give you permission to execute on sight, then put his name and abilities in the bingo book. If Danzo is like you say he is, then if we execute him, who knows if that was the original or not? Sarutobi nods. But wouldn't that take days to accomplish? Yes, but in those days I can secretly enter Root and gather incriminating evidence and other important things while planting explosive tags around the base. That is if you have the layout of the place. Sarutobi smiles. I see what you are doing. Shake the man from his territory, and once approval comes through we cut the head of the problem off and then finish the job by destroying the base. That might work, but what about Sasuke? What do I do with him? Wipe his memories. Jiraiya responds without hesitation. Wipe his memories and seal off his bloodline. Sarutobi's eyes widen. Isn't that a tad bit extreme? Jiraiya shakes his head. No, we will not have another Madara form in this day and age. This is the only solution to that problem, sensei, and deep down you know it. Once sealed, we will give him training and guide him down the right path. Sarutobi picks up his pipe and lights it with a quick fire jutsu, then puffs on it. You know me too well, my old student. I will give the fire demo what he needs. And Sarutobi unlocks a hidden compartment in his desk and pulls out a map of the root base and hands it to Jiraiya. That map is not completed and is a rough estimate of what the base is like. Be careful, Jiraiya, we do not need Danzo knowing our plans. Said person nods. Thank you, sensei. Anything else? Sarutobi shakes his head. No, you are dismissed, and thank you, Jiraiya. Anytime, sensei. Tsunade and I will always be here for you. As Jiraiya walks out the door, Hiruzen looks down upon his village and cannot help but sigh as a feeling of dread washes over him. With Team 7 and Kakashi and his team jumped from tree to tree heading out to do their side mission, eliminate Gato and his followers. The plan was simple, go in just as Zabuza, Haku, and most of Gato's forces left to raise wave and clear the building of all hostiles, and then Gato himself. Tsunade, however, added to that plan and decided to stage an actual rebellion instead of the faux one that was originally used to entice Gato into action. He would do this as Kakashi and his team took care of their end. He knew the dangers but decided that freedom is well worth dying for. Tsunami and Inari felt the same way and decided to join. Team 7 stops on a branch overlooking the mansion and courtyard of Gato's domain. All were waiting for Kakashi to give the order, though Sasuke was having a hard time controlling himself and just wanted to make it rain red. Kakashi-sensei, look, there's Zabuza and Haku dragging out Naruto's clone of Tsunade. Sakura points in said direction. Kakashi nods yes. And I see Gato wanted to boost morale before having his troops head out. I still wonder where Naruto's clone went though. I lost him when we left Tsunade's home. All look on as they see a short, rotund man come out to greet his troops and make a speech before they headed out. In the courtyard, Gato walks up past his troops and looks at Tsunade, who is down on his knees in an execution stance, then slaps his face a couple times. Wakey, Tsunade, I wish I could let you see your precious bridge, village, and all that you hold dear to perish by my hands. Alas, I have wanted you dead for so long and loathe the thought of allowing you to draw one more breath. You may say any last words, though nobody would care to hear them anyway. Clone Tsunade, who now looks mentally drained, his clothes in shreds, and his gray hair unruly and unkempt, looks up at Gato and spits in his face. See you in hell, you son of a bitch! Gato pulls a handkerchief from his coat pocket and wipes his face, then backhands Tsunade in the face with a growl, making blood trickle from a broken lip. Zabuza, be a kind gentleman and execute this bastard before me. What do you say, men? Chants of kill are heard from the crowd as Zabuza takes his Zanbatsu and puts it under Tsunade's chin while his foot rests on his back. Gato gives the universal sign of decapitation, making Zabuza nod. He pushes with his foot while pulling the blade towards him, making a clean slice. Tsunade's head rolls and hits Gato's foot, who stomps on it, crushing it into paste. He is so excited that he doesn't see the lack of blood. To arms, men! Take wave down! Cheers are heard as 3/4 of Gato's force rushes onward with Zabuza and Haku trailing behind. They see Kakashi and Team 7's location and signal discreetly that they're up, which Kakashi signals back the confirmation. They jump from their spot just as they saw Gato head inside and clone Tsunade turn into wood and disappear underground. Wave country. The village was peaceful at the moment as the Yuza A&B were handing out much needed supplies to the populace like food, water, and clothing, as well as medical support to those who needed it. The ANBU also noticed that the healthy villagers were all on guard, like they knew something was going to happen that they didn't. It made them slightly uneasy, though the question as to why this was answered thanks to Tsunade. As Tsunade passes by the ANBU and waves to some of the villagers, his family behind him, he eventually gets to the center of town and clears his throat. People of Wave, I have called upon you to take up arms and go against Gato, the man who has destroyed our lives for these past many months. In time, he will be sending his men here to raze our village to the ground. Well, what do you think about this? Will we let that happen? At the start of the speech, the villagers were starting to congregate around Tsunade and his family with pitchforks, axes, and anything that could be used as a weapon. When Tsunade paused to hear an answer to his question, there was an instantaneous chorus of, "No! Raise your weapons high, my people, the enemy approaches. We may die this day, but it is a great honor to die for our freedom. What say you? So say I." The villagers chorus, making the ANBU watching the whole ordeal smile behind their masks in awe. A war cry is heard in the distance, and the ground slightly shakes. The trees ruffle as hordes of Gato's thugs approaches Wave. It's a force about 300 strong. The ANBU get ready and unsheathe their issued ninjutsu and get in formation. The massive force, all dressed in black and carrying different versions of a katana, are seen bursting from the woods. A massive war cry goes out from the villagers and they rush forward, leaving the ANBU stunned for a moment, then they too join in on the fight. Swords clash against various weaponry, and screams go out of those who are dying. The street soon runs red with the blood of the enemy and some of the villagers. The fight was just getting started, and yet so much blood was to be had. Inari, who came to the town center with his father's crossbow and quiver filled with bolts, managed to climb on top of a roof and ready a bolt. He looks over the chaos no child should ever witness, but the image of Kaiza, his father, was forefront in Inari's mind, so what he was about to do would be done without hesitation, without emotion. Inari takes a deep breath as he puts the plate in the soft spot of his shoulder blade, aims at a thug coming towards his mother, holds that breath, and fires. He watches as the thug stopped his deadly descent of his sword and fell backwards with the eyes rolled in the back of his head. The bolt pierced the forehead, dead center. The thug was dead before he hit the ground. Inari waves to his mother and cocks another bolt, and does the same. This time, however, it grazes one thug's neck, severing his jugular, sending a massive torrent of blood outward, getting over any who was surrounding said man. The bolt continues onward and lodges itself in the Adam's apple into a thug farther back, severing his brain stem. He never knew what hit him. Tsunade lost his weapon soon after the battle started and picked up a katana of a fallen thug and tested it out. Naruto used one of these, and I don't see how hard it is to use it. All you do is swing away, I think. Tsunade ducks under a slash from a nearby thug but sees the same one follow up with a downward slash too quick for him to dodge. As he closes his eyes in defeat, he suddenly hears a clang and looks up to see an ANBU holding the blade at bay. You seem to be having a little trouble here, Tsunade-san. The ANBU states, and was about to behead the thug when Tsunade acted on the distraction. Said man lunged forward and plunged the katana deep into the thug's stomach, then pushed downward, gutting the man. The ANBU was shocked at the ferocity and seemingly emotionless kill that this old man just took. Tsunade smiles as he sees the guts of his enemy fall to the ground, followed by his body. He does not mind the blood that is over him, though he does notice that the ANBU was standing there with his head titled slightly. Is there a problem, ANBU-san? 'Cause I see no problem in front of me, all I see is freedom for Wave. He yells as he rushes forward while other villagers chorus as well. The ANBU chuckles and shakes his head, remind me to never disrespect my elders. He mumbles, then gets back to work. The battle was far from over, but slowly but surely the thugs were being pushed back and freedom would soon be at hand. With Kakashi and Team 7. Kakashi and his team just entered the mansion and was going through room by room, killing off anyone inside them, whether they were sleeping or not. For Kakashi this was everyday business. For Sasuke this was a field day. Sai had Root to thank for his first kill. Sakura, however, was taking it the worst. She managed her first kill after much trepidation but seemed to break down almost mentally from that point on. Sai comforted her as much as possible, which helped but still didn't alleviate her fears. There were a few large scuffles, but all in all there was not many thugs left in the whole building. After an hour, all the rooms were checked except one. It had double doors and a man could be heard humming to himself inside. Everyone knew that it would be Gato, but just as they were about to burst inside and take him out, a scuffle is heard with some screaming, then all goes silent. Footsteps are heard coming toward the door, and the handle is jiggled, making Kakashi and his team be at the ready. The door opens to show a smiling Naruto who waved at them. Hi everyone, sorry I decided to take the silent and unseen approach. Kakashi shakes his head. You have to stop using that melding thing, it really freaks me out. Naruto shrugs, well, come inside. I already got Gato wrapped up for ya, and he has graciously given us his bank account numbers as well as the combo to his safe underneath his desk. Kakashi and Team 7 get in the office and sure enough, bound by tree roots to his desk chair, was Gato struggling to get free. When I get out of here I am going to kick all y'all asses, you hear me? I will kill every one of you. Shouldn't we kill him? I see no use for a weak fool like him, Sasuke states. Naruto shakes his head. No, we will let Tsunade and the villagers of Wave deal with that matter. Now, all we have to do is round up this money and disperse it to Wave, some to Konoha, and the rest to Yuzu, spoils of war. Kakashi nods his head and orders his team, well, let's get to it. After Naruto opens up the safe, take as much as you can so that we can deliver it. Hey! That's my money, get away from my stash, you dirty bastards. Gato screams as Naruto bends down to unlock the safe. Naruto scoffs at Gato, then kicks the chair he is tied to, which falls over backwards and landing on the floor, furthering his struggling. Gra! You insolent brat, when I cha! Shut up! Sakura yells and punches Gato in the head, knocking him out. Geez, was I really like that at one point? A screaming banshee? Sai laughs. Yes, you were. He regrets saying that as Sakura cracks her knuckles and gives a predatory grin towards Sai, and in a sickly sweet voice responds to his comment. Oh Sai, dare to repeat what you just said. I might have heard wrong. Sai throws up his hands in defeat and steps back as fast as possible. And no, Sakura-chan, I said nothing, silly me. Sakura smiles and hears the click of an open safe and starts taking things out of it so that the monies could be distributed accordingly. Back in Wave Country, the village was in an eerie silence as the survivors of the epic battle look on and now just realize what they did. In front of them lay dismembered corpses of Gato's thug army mixed with the occasional villager. The ANBU saw the shocked look in the villagers' eyes and knew that counseling would be needed done for some. It would be a while until they returned back to Yuzu. Zabuza and Haku, who were hacking away at the flank of the army, sat underneath a tree taking a break with a smile on their face. I haven't had that much fun since I graduated from the academy. Zabuza cackles. Haku gags a little. I swear that moniker goes to your head, as you definitely showed that today. Zabuza shrugs. Meh, so what a shinobi, missing Nin or not due for a living. 5 minutes pass without talk as both watched the ANBU start to clean up the mess from the past battle that lasted for what seemed an hour. The streets, and some buildings were stained red with blood and the stench of death was in the air. It wasn't pleasant, but inside the villagers knew they were finally free. Zabuza and Haku looked to their right as they heard something coming, then laughed as they saw a tied-up Gato over Naruto's shoulders with Team 7 and Kakashi coming from behind. Well, I see you made quite a mess here, ugh. Reminds me of the era I lived in. Naruto remarks. Hey, at least the villagers will be happy to see that you left Gato to get what he deserves. Haku replied. Naruto nods as Kakashi orders his Team 7, with me, we will be heading back to Tsunade's home to cook lunch for them and get cleaned up. Hi sensei. They chorus and head off. Naruto smiles and motions for Zabuza and Haku to follow him into the center of town, which they comply with. As he enters town, some of the villagers' frowns of their past events turned into a big smile once again as they saw the form of Gato knocked out and tied up. Naruto throws Gato to the ground, waking him up with a groan, then looks around and pales at what he sees. My men! You bastards destroyed my men! The villagers surround Gato and the ANBU back off, knowing this was personal. Cracks of knuckles are heard and sinister laughter fills the air. Many months of abuse. A villager cries out, You killed my son and husband. Another cries out, You left us to rot then beat us while we were down. You must pay for your sins. The villagers proclaim and proceed to beat Gato into a bloody pulp. Wave was finally free, with Jiraiya, after leaving the Hokage office, root base. Getting into the base was relatively easy as he found outside decided to deactivate the Henjin Genjutsu detector seals permanently without Danzo or anyone else noticing. Now he was sticking to the shadows of the base, hoping to find something down here that would shed even more bad light on Danzo. Jiraiya looks at the map and sees that if he went right he would eventually arrive at a lab of some sorts, and knew that any important genes used would be there. He hoped to grab any that could be used against Konoha in the future. As Jiraiya avoided patrols and having to knock some unconscious and drag them into a dark corner so that they wouldn't be noticed, he put a memory-wiped seal on them so that they would not report that an intruder was here. He soon reaches the lab and quickly rummages around, sealing anything important. He found plans for some sort of chemical or poison, as well as notes on experimental enhancements, and finally on a shelf, all by its lonesome, was what he was looking for. He looks around again, and quickly flees the scene. As he was on his way out, somehow Jiraiya managed a wrong turn and instantly knew as such when he heard two men talking in an office which was in front of him. Using the hiding with camouflage technique to blend in with his surroundings, he places a recording seal on the door in hopes of capturing the conversation. Office, how have things come with your new weapon Danzo? If you mean Sasuke, then yes, his training is going quite well. I expect him to activate his Mangekyo Sharingan soon with what I have planned, and will up his training soon and manipulate him further so that I can get the next Madara under my thumb. Foo, excellent, and the plans we have set for the Chunin exams are all in place as well, I take it. Yes, Sasuke by then will be completely under my control and will help me finally get what I always wanted in the first place. Sarutobi won't know what hit him, such a weak-minded fool he is. Naruto Senju will become a pest in which I will have to deal with soon, but that is my job, not yours, Orochimaru. Cool, you always were one to plan 2 steps ahead. Jiraiya rips off the seal knowing he had enough information to bring Danzo and his route down with this recording. He looks around, deactivates his jutsu, and pulls out the map trying to find his way out. After a certain distance he pauses and leans against a wall to check the map again, but falls backwards into another room, one that reeked of defecation and death. Jiraiya groans as he picks himself up from the floor and looks around, gasping at what he saw. 8 naked and severely malnourished bodies of what looked like young kids no older than 10 or 12 years of age, shackled by the hands and hanging against the wall. He knew that they had not long to live, so he cuts his hand and lets it bleed out, producing 8 similar-looking blood clones to take the place of the kids. Although lightheaded, Jiraiya closes the hidden wall so that it looks like nobody entered and started to unshackle the kids. When he got to the last one, a hoarse voice spoke up. Thank you, evil man, so hungry. Jiraiya sheds tears and lays the last child on the cold cement floor, then clenches his fists. Damn you, Danzo. I don't want to know what goes though, that mind of yours no matter, your reign will end soon enough. Jiraiya puts his clones up against the wall, and shackles them like the kids he just wrestles, then turns and creates 7 shadow clones to take 1 kid each. He hoped that Danzo did not put any seals to alert a use of a shunshin, but he had to take that risk. In 8 poofs of smoke, Jiraiya and his clones with the kids in tow all head to the hospital, hoping that they can all be saved. Hospital. Waiting room. 8 poofs of smoke alert those waiting to an incoming shinobi, and all gasp at what they see in the Toad Sannin's arms. Some even tear up seeing a child in such a state. Medic. The 8 Jiraiya proclaims, and luckily Tsunade got there first, gasping at the sight. Oh shit, she whispers and looks towards the doctors and nurses behind her and barks out orders. I want 8 IC units open for business this instant. We have no time to lose. We got 8 severely malnourished children that need medical attention ASAP, go. Shuffling is heard as nurses and doctors scramble to do as told as Tsunade motions for the Jiraiya to follow in a hurried manner. Soon, all the children are set down on respective beds and hooked up to IVs and liquid foods as nurses run their diagnostic scans. Each of their prognosis is not good. Jiraiya, who dismissed his clones, was huddling on the floor by one of the IC rooms, covering his face with his hands and silently crying to himself, banging his head against the wall from time to time. Tsunade, who just walked out of one of the IC rooms, sees Jiraiya and rushes over to him. Jiraiya, please tell me who could do such a thing, and are you going to be alright? Does it look like I will be alright? Look what Danzo did to those kids. They were so malnourished I couldn't even identify their sex. White Swanda, why? Jiraiya yells out, slightly scaring Tsunade. Swanda growls and was about to give Danzo a piece of her mind when Jiraiya grabs her leg. Don't. It would only jeopardize what Sensei and I are planning to bring Danzo down so that he could get his power back. And can you comfort me? I feel so lost and hopeless. Tsunade does as asked as Jiraiya starts to cry again, to the point where Tsunade does as well, all the while she thought about Sensei's old friend. I hope you get what's coming to you, Danzo, and Sensei Jiraiya, and I will stand by you no matter what. If I have to take up the reins someday, then so be it. I will follow in your footsteps, grandfather, granduncle, and if you become Hokage someday, Naruto, then I will support you fully, as will all of Konoha. Following day, Daimyo Palace. As the daimyo were in his office doing paperwork, his secretary comes in with a letter in her hand. An important message from the Sandaime, Daimyo Dano. She bows. Thank you, Keiko, you are dismissed. The daimyo orders after taking the letter. After Keiko leaves, he opens it up and starts to read, then unseals the documents on the bottom of the page and starts to shuffle through them. 20 minutes later, his face is as red as a tomato in anger. Keiko, get your ass in here. The door bursts open as said person scrambles inside and hurriedly bows. Yes, Daimyo Dano? Get my guard ready. I am heading to Konoha to help Sandaime Dano get rid of a cockroach problem. He sneers. Hi, at once, Daimyo Dano. Keiko hurriedly leaves the room and does as told. Thank you for bringing this up, Sarutobi Dano, and from what you described in your letter I see why you were scared to act. No matter, this situation will be dealt with once and for all. I wonder what Jiraiya managed to find evidence-wise. Only time will tell, I guess. Keiko comes in 3 minutes later. Your carriage awaits, Daimyo Dano, and your guard is all set. The daimyo stands and brushes the dust of his robes. Thank you, Keiko-san. You can do whatever you want for the rest of the day, and I'm sorry for yelling at you earlier. No problem, Daimyo Dano. I am quite used to it by now. Said person chuckles and ruffles her hair, then walks out of the office ready to give a certain mummy a piece of his mind. Konoha, the following day, Hokage office. The letter confirming that the fire daimyo was going to arrive came yesterday, hours after Sarutobi sent his letter. Today would be the day that Danzo would get his just desserts, but for Sarutobi, Jiraiya, and Tsunade this would be a day long remembered. All the pieces were in place and the evidence collected. The council was already in session waiting on the daimyo, Sarutobi and Danzo to arrive. A knock on the door is heard. It was time. Enter. The door opens and a clack of a cane hitting the wooden floor was heard and the mismatched steps of a person stumbling in. You called for me, Sarutobi-sama? Danzo looks at Sarutobi, who is sitting behind his desk in a calm manner, then over to his left where Tsunade stood and to his right where Jiraiya stood. Something was amiss and Danzo felt it. Sarutobi smiles. Yes, I did, my old friend. Would you care to take a seat as we have much to discuss? He motions to the seat in front of him, in which Danzo hesitates for a moment, trying to figure out what was going on. Hesitantly, he soon walks forward toward the chair, but that's when everything went according to plan. Jiraiya runs through hand signs, putting up a multi-layered barrier so Danzo could not escape, while Tsunade tackles said man into the ground. At this point, 2 ANBU drop from the ceiling and slap chakra cuffs on the dazed Danzo, as well as multiple seals. One to halt his use of chakra, one that temporarily shut his bloodlines down, and one to shut down his muscles so that he could not move an inch. Danzo soon gets out of his daze and roars, what is the meaning of this? Sarutobi finally stands from his chair and nods to Jiraiya, who lowers the barrier. A knock is heard on the door and one of the ANBU open it, letting the fire daimyo in, which made Danzo pale slightly. Oh, it seems you already collected the cockroach, Sandaime Dano. Very well, shall we commence the trial, though I really doubt one is needed. Let me go. I have done nothing wrong. Sarutobi bends low and gets in Danzo's face as Tsunade stands. You thought me as a weak-minded fool when in fact I held the cards all along. Look at you, my old friend, chakra cut off, all those Sharingan you collected unusable at the moment, and you can't move a muscle. Such a weak-minded fool you are. Danzo blinks, wondering how this was all possible, then growls, Sai. When I get my hands on you, NBU, let's take this traitor to the council and present the evidence. It shouldn't take long. Sarutobi orders and turns toward the fire daimyo. Shall we go, Daimyo Dano? Said person nods and the ANBU lift up Danzo. They trail behind their Hokage and daimyo while Tsunade and Jiraiya stand guard in the Hokage office. Many ANBU and off-duty shinobi were all on guard around the village just in case. Council chambers. The door opens, making the advisors and shinobi council see the Sandaime and fire daimyo walk side by side, and behind them 2 ANBU holding an incapacitated Danzo. Everyone smirks at seeing the old coot finally being put in his place. Sarutobi sits in between his advisors while the daimyo sits across the table from him. The trial was about to take place. By the order of the Sandaime Hokage and me, you Danzo Shimura are charged with fraternizing with the enemy, child abuse, undermining a Hokage's rule, genocide, and multiple other minor infractions. How do you plead? The fire daimyo speaks. Fuck you. I will take that as a not guilty then. Sandaime Dano if you would. Sarutobi nods and takes out a scroll from his robe and puts it on the table and unseals the contents. There is a thick folder filled with incriminating evidence, one for each clan head and advisor as well as the daimyo himself. He signals to the ANBU to help pass them out, which he does. In those folders you will find all the evidence I and my spy collected over the months. This trial would have happened sooner, but I was scared to act, and am glad I held off, as what Jiraiya collected in the past 3 days has been quite damning. You may read those at your leisure. A silent and tense-filled 30 minutes takes place as everyone goes over the evidence methodically, and soon everyone stares at Danzo with the intent to kill. What was about to take place next would seal Danzo's fate. Hayashi stands up. You kidnapped some of my clan members and inducted them into your program. Stealing a Dijitsu or bloodline from any clan warrants immediate death. That said, I vote for public execution. Sim was next. Luckily none of my clan members fell into your program, but what I read in front of me is damning to say the least. I hope you enjoy your stay in hell. Execution, I say. Shibi, a usually stoic and calm-hearted man, was royally pissed as everyone could hear his hide buzzing about. He stands, and as he does, a massive amount of Kikaichu explodes from his body, scaring everyone, even the fire daimyo. In a cold, dark, and chilling voice, Shibi rants. I am usually a calm man, Danzo, but you have pushed me to a point nobody has managed to do. Do you know why we Aburame are always calm? It's because our hive reacts to our emotions, and right now I am having a hell of a time restraining them to eat the flesh from you bones. Fuck you, Danzo, go to hell where you belong. Shibi takes a deep breath and calms himself slightly, making his hive recede back into his body, making everyone else take a sigh of relief. Inoichi was next. I would enter your mind just so I could fuck it up so bad that you would have spent the rest of your life in a padded room. Execute the bastard. Shikaku glares at Danzo. You are a very troublesome man. Just execute him already so I can get back to my nap. Choza is so enraged that he couldn't think of what to say, so he kept it simple. I call for execution. As clan head of the Sarutobi clan, I vote for execution. Sarutobi states. The advisors chorus together. Execution. The fire daimyo nods. Well, Danzo, it seems your life is at an end. Everyone here agrees that you are to be executed, and I cannot deny such a request after reading what is in front of me. Danzo Shimura, by the power invested in me, you will be publicly executed an hour from now. Sandaime Dano, you may announce this to everyone. I deem this trial officially over. Danzo just snarls and the ANBU escort him out of the room. When he was gone, Sarutobi turns to everyone and smiles. Before we blow his base to where it cannot be used, I will be happy to let you know that we have successfully gathered all of Danzo's forces, and they are now going through a program to where they can get back to some sort of normal life. Now, we might be having a small earthquake right about now, Sarutobi states, and sure enough a shaking is felt, making everyone smile and chuckle. Once the process is done, I will be happy to reunite you with lost family members. Like Daimyo Dano stated, we are dismissed. 1 hour later, town center. Danzo was tied to a post, the seals and chakra cuffs still on him. Everyone was gathered around as they heard about the rumors of what Danzo did but never believed it. Now that a trial was done, everyone now knew those rumors were actually fact. The Sandaime walks up and clears his throat. Thank you all for coming out to see this traitor before you to be executed for his multiple lists of crimes which I stated an hour ago. Now Danzo, any last words before you will be beheaded and your ashes sent out to sea? Danzo starts to laugh. You think this is the last you'll see of me, HA? I've always been 2 steps ahead of you, Sarutobi. I will return, mark my words, I will return. Sarutobi signals the ANBU nearest the post to cease Danzo's incessant laughter, and he does so with his ninjutsu. Blood spurts from the neck hole as the head rolls on the ground, Danzo's face forever etched in a creepy smile. The ANBU does a quick fire jutsu, turning his body into ash. The village cheers and Sarutobi sighs in relief. Soon, I will have my power back, and Naruto's dream for this village to rise to what it once was will come to fruition. 1 week later, island in water country. Naruto stood on an island overlooking Kiri and wondered where Mei would be at. Kushina told him that it would be one of the islands, but there was so many to choose from. Speaking of Kushina, after their date things seemed to go downhill. 3 days after the date, Kushina told Naruto that even though a connection was felt, she wasn't sure if having the relationship going any further was a good idea. Naruto understood, as she still clung to the love that Minato gave, and he knew that in time Kushina would be ready. Only time would tell if Kushina would come back into Naruto's life. He was broken out of these thoughts by someone yelling at him from a distance. Naruto turns toward the voice to see a slender woman in her 30s. She has green eyes, and ankle-length, auburn hair styled into a herringbone pattern at the back, a top knot tied with a dark blue band, and with 4 bangs at the front. 2 bangs are short, with one covering her right eye, and 2 are long, crossing each other on her bust, just below her chin. She also wears a long-sleeved, dark blue dress that falls just below the knees. Naruto smiles and jogs up. The lady you must be Mei. Kushina told me a lot about you. I am Naruto Senju, by the way. Mei taps her chin, trying to figure out where she heard that name before, then gasps as the light bulb brightens. You should be 68 years old. Naruto laughs. Some things are better left unsaid, Mei. Would you be a dear and escort me to where you and the rebellion is stationed? Mei nods. Well, while we are there I guess we will discuss battle plans then. Welcome aboard the rebellion, Senju-sama. With you at our side this war will soon be over. It's been 2 days since Team 7, Kakashi, and clone Naruto left Wave. The bridge, now known as the Bridge to Freedom, was completed and all of Wave started to turn back to the way it was before Gato came in. The Yuza and BU left at the same time as Team 7 and the others. Zabuza and Haku wondered where the real Naruto was at, so his clone told them that he would be in Kiri helping with the rebellion and that they were welcome to join. Both smiled and quickly accepted the offer and hurried themselves in hopes of getting there in time to join in on the fun. They arrive at the gates of Konoha and Kakashi gives Kotetsu and Izumo the correct papers. As they headed inside, an ANBU appeared in front of them with a message from the Hokage. Kakashi, you, Naruto, and Sasuke are to report to the Hokage office immediately. The other members of your team can go about their business. Hi, Umbu-san. Kakashi replies and motions for Naruto and Sasuke to follow. Before leaving, Naruto turned to Sai and Sakura. If you wish to rest, that is up to you, but I recommend keeping up with my regimen as well as study up on new techniques. Both nod. Hi, Naruto-sensei. Naruto chuckles and motions for Kakashi and Sasuke that we can head to the Hokage office, in which they nod. Sasuke, though, had this feeling in the back of his mind like something happened while away and that his future was about to change. Hokage office. A knock is heard on the door and Sarutobi tells his guests to enter and smiles at Naruto, though he knew it had to be a clone since the real one was at Kiri at the moment. He gives Sasuke a sad smile, then sighs and goes into Hokage mode. Great to see you all returned. Kakashi, you can give me a written mission statement as well as you, Naruto. There is no need to explain what happened as bigger matters must be attended to. ANBU, can you get Inoichi in here please? An ANBU appears and Bose then goes off to do his assigned task. Now I can tell that you are wondering what is so important that a mission statement can be waited upon, am I right? Everyone nods. Naruto, you will be happy to know that Danzo is no longer in our hair. The cockroach has been eliminated. Naruto and Kakashi smile, but Sasuke's eyes widen then harden into a hate-filled glare. You will return my master at once. I refuse to think that he has been killed. I will become the next Madara and you can't stop me. Sasuke starts to run through hand signs, of which Naruto recognizes as a massive fire jutsu. He acts fast and does one hand sign, then points his left hand, which turns into wood, at Sasuke. Wood release, smothering binding technique. Wooden tendrils ensnare Sasuke, halting his jutsu, making Sarutobi and Kakashi breathe a sigh of relief. Naruto returns his hand back to normal as all watch Sasuke try to get out of his bindings. When I get out of here, all of you will die, you hear me? I will kill all of you. A new voice appears in the office. Well, someone seems to be having a temper tantrum. What can I help you with, Hokage-sama? Sarutobi, Naruto and Kakashi chuckle. Well, Inoichi, I want you to go into Sasuke's mind and erase his memory, and then I will seal up his bloodline, to which we will reteach him and lead him down the right path. You will not lay a hand on me, swine. Inoichi chops Sasuke on the back of the neck, knocking him out, making everyone smile. Naruto gasps as he had an idea. Wait, my old friend, I think there is a better way to go about this. We cannot deny the fact that Sasuke has grown strong under Danzo, and sealing away that potential just shows how weak Konoha has become, stunting the growth of a great shinobi. I propose that we do erase his memories but keep his bloodline and all of his skills intact, but when he comes to, we tell him the truth about the Uchiha massacre, and go on from there. Sarutobi strokes his goatee and hums. That seems logical, but the fact remains that he might fall down that path of hatred with all this power. Naruto, in a stern voice, one of which would make his father proud, replies, no, he will not, and I will personally train him with the help of people of my choosing. I may be a clone, but boss has more than enough chakra to handle me, showing Sasuke a thing or two. Sarutobi's eyes widen. Are you sure you want to take that burden upon yourself? Naruto nods yes. And I was wondering if you have any scrolls that Danzo had in his base that pertain to Sasuke's training. Kakashi interrupts. Wait, hold on a minute, it sounds to me that you want to continue what Danzo was doing. That is exactly my plan. What? A chorus of screams radiates around the room from the ANBU, Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Inoichi. Think about it. We have a chance to have another shinobi almost as powerful as the Madara my father faced in the years to come. The only difference is that we lead him down the path to protect Konoha, not hate it like Madara did. This is why I told you I wanted to train him. Inoichi chuckles. I never thought I'd agree to have another Uchiha to become like Madara, but the benefits are there. I can imagine Naruto and Sasuke going to battle together, laying waste to all who stand in their way. Kakashi smiles. Hey, I have to agree as well. Sasuke has great promise as a shinobi, and telling him the truth after the wipe should set him right. Sarutobi groans and palms his face. Okay, Naruto, you have a point. I have the documents we raided from the base before blowing it up, and I am also guessing you want Madara-like weapons and armor. Naruto shakes his head. No, not at the moment. He has to earn the right to wear the armor and use the weapons. If he starts to focus on hate again, in which I cannot stray him from, then Inoichi has permission to wipe him clean. Everyone nods and Sarutobi motions to Inoichi. You shall begin when ready, Inoichi-san. Said man nods and starts hand signs to do his job. He slumps, but Naruto catches him with a wood tendril and sets him gently on the ground. Sasuke's future was about to change, and Naruto looked forward to having Sasuke by his side in future battles if his idea worked out. 5 minutes later, Inoichi's body twitches and he sits up with a groan, holding his head. Ugh, that was one screwed up mind. With the genjutsu Itachi placed on him to the manipulation Danzo put him through, just nasty. I erased everything minus the massacre and his skill set. I left the names of important people as well, so when he wakes you will have to create a story as to what happened to him. Sarutobi nods. Thank you, Inoichi. If you wish, I can have one of my ANBU escort you to the hospital to rest. He smiles. That would be most appreciated, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi signals an ANBU which does his task. After both exit the office and leave Shunshin, a groan is heard from Sasuke. Naruto releases the bindings just as Sasuke opens his eyes and looks around the room. What happened? The only thing I remember is my clan getting massacred and having some training, but the rest is blurry. Sarutobi looks at Kakashi and Naruto in a desperate manner, looking for a story to weave. Naruto takes up the mantle. Sasuke, do you remember me? Sasuke looks towards Naruto and squints as he tries to remember. Naruto sent you? Naruto nods. That is correct, Sasuke. Now who are the others in this room? Sasuke thinks again. The one at the desk is the Sandaime Hokage while the other is Kakashi-sensei. Wait, why am I getting images of being on a team and doing some sort of mission? Naruto sighs and puts on a sad facade, hoping the lie he was about to say would convince him. The last battle we had, you were kicked through a second-story window and bashed your head on the ground really hard. The blow left you with a concussion and amnesia. I am sorry, Sasuke. Sasuke stands up at this point and hobbles over to a chair and sits down. He takes a deep breath. Why did Itachi do it? Why? I just feel this anger towards him and feel like killing him is the only goal. Sarutobi clears his throat and butts in. Sasuke, would you like to know the truth behind what happened that night? Sasuke quickly turns to him and yells, what truth? Itachi massacred my clan and told me that hate would only make me grow stronger. Give me a good reason to not follow his wishes. Sarutobi does just that. He takes a folder from his desk that held the documents Danzo cataloged on the massacre, then hands them to Sasuke. He grabs them and starts to read over them. Those are the documents my old friend Danzo kept on hand which detail what he did that night. He used your brother Sasuke and framed the whole Uchiha clan, saying that they were going to rebel against me, but it was all farce. Sasuke reads the documents over a course of 10 minutes in which nobody talks. Suddenly Sasuke throws the documents to the ground and yells to the heavens, then collapses to the floor in the fetal position and starts to cry. I want Itachi Onaizen back, Kasan-Tusan. Naruto rushes over, bends to his level and puts a reassuring hand on his shoulder. It will be alright, Sasuke, we will get your brother back. Where's Danzo? I want to kill that bastard. Sarutobi helps. We found out what he was doing and after months of planning and gathering evidence we held a trial and executed him. Sasuke, listen, what would you do if Naruto and some others trained you to become a powerful shinobi? Sasuke sniffs and wipes his tears away and gives a smile to Naruto, who returns it. I don't know at the moment. All I want is my Onaizen back. Kakashi butts in here. Answer this question. Do you hate Konoha for what it has done to your clan? Naruto and Sarutobi give Kakashi a heated glare, hoping that question doesn't undo Inoichi's memory wipe. Luckily for them, Inoichi was a man well versed in his talents. Sasuke ponders, then shakes his head. Danzo was not part of Konoha from the documents I read. He was an idealistic old fool and I hope he rots in hell for what he did to my clan. So you wish to protect and help Konoha prosper then? Restore your clan at some point maybe? Naruto asks, earning a nod from Sasuke, who stands and has a gleam in his eye, the one of which Sarutobi and Naruto smile as they knew what it was. The will of fire was burning within. I guess that is my motive right now. If Itachi Onaizen is returned and helps me, then I will gladly help Konoha and protect it, and its people. Everyone nods and smiles while Kakashi ends the conversation. Let's take you home, Sasuke. Sasuke shakes his head. I will not live in my compound. Too many bad memories. He turns to Naruto. Naruto-sensei, do you mind if I live with you until Itachi comes back? Naruto smiles. No, not at all. Tsunade and I will help in any way we can. Sasuke smiles and bows. Thank you, and I promise not to question your training. Water Country, one of the islands surrounding Kiri. Naruto puts on the rest of his armor and affixes his katana, Raging Whirlpool, to his back. He grabs his Konoha-issued headband and ties it on his forehead, parting his black bangs to the side, then sighs. Today is the start of Yagura's End Kurama. Do you think that seal I was working on while in limbo will work? You tested it on yourself when it was still in the prototype stage, and what did that accomplish? Yeah, I know, don't remind me, but I perfected it, and tested it again on myself, and I don't even know if it worked or not yet. Well, when the time comes then you can test it out. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to catch a nap. Naruto's sweat drops and wonders how an overgrown plushie could sleep that much. I can hear your thoughts, and who you calling a plushie? Don't make me eat you when the time comes to test out your invention. Naruto chuckles and tunes the fox out as he remembers how this day came to be. He would be leading a force to take out a main installation of Yagura's forces on a massive island that protects the entrance to Kiri. Flashback. 2 days ago, Mei escorted Naruto through the camp, which had white tents in perfect rows that were filled with cots for the men and women to sleep on. Outside these tents were various people sharpening their kunai, tantos, and other various weaponry. They look at Naruto with wonder as the armor he wore reminded them of stories of the days of old. A couple gasped as they recognized the Senju clan symbol on the collar of Naruto's armor, and soon started to spread the word that a powerful ally was among them. Mei, how big is this rebellion force? We started with well over 3,000, but after a year of fighting we have been cut in half. Morale has hit an all-time low as some lost hope after seeing so many of their family and friends die, though I think that will change with you around. You have a calming aura about you. Naruto laughs. That would be my father's chakra running through my veins. It is nature-based, though my father called it sage chakra. That, and the necklace I am wearing is the main reason why my Mokutan is so strong. Mei gives Naruto a quizzical look. That would not be something to divulge, as that seems like a big secret. Why tell me this? Naruto smiles. Because I actually have the skills to kill anyone before they leak the information. Be thankful I am on your side, because I have one technique that can wipe out this whole rebellion force. Mei pales and was about to talk when a rebellion member came over. It was a female about 5'6" with long brunette hair, wearing crude leather armor and clothes while having a tanto strapped to her back. I am glad that you are helping us, Senju-sama, and word has spread quick around the camp. If you would be so kind as to tell us your name, everyone is curious about you. Naruto smiles. Once I am done talking to Mei, I will find you again, as your signature is easy to discern. After that, gather everyone and I will tell my identity. The lady bows. Thank you, Senju-sama. Mei chuckles as she and Naruto watches her run off to tell the others. Seems like you will be a big help after all. Well, my quarters are not that far from here. We will be discussing plans today on what to attack. Care to join? Naruto nods. Yes, my father drilled strategy and lots of other things into my head before he passed. I will simply oversee as you and the others decide on strategies. I will only butt in if I see a problem or a better solution. Mei nods and stops in front of her quarters. It is a massive tent that looked like it could sleep at least 300 soldiers. Well, here we are. I will introduce you to the others. It was a long 3 hours worth of negotiating plans of attack, which Naruto helped with time and time again where needed. There were 2 other prominent figures that helped lead the rebellion other than Mei. One was a man named Ao, whom was 5'8", had blue hair and an eye patch covering his right eye. The other was an older gentleman called Isamu. He was the same height as Ao but had brown spiky hair and blue eyes with a ninjutsu strapped to his back. Ao was a little suspicious of Naruto at first, as his hidden Byakugan let him see his immense chakra pool, but Mei reassured him, brightening up, that Naruto was Hashirama's son. Hearing this, both men were happy to have Naruto aboard and thanked him for the help. After the meeting, Naruto went in search of the woman who contacted him before entering Mei's quarters. He locked onto her chakra and eventually found her sitting outside her tent sharpening her tanto. Hello miss, nice to see you again. The lady stops what she was doing and looks up, then smiles. Ah, hello Senju-sama. I forgot to introduce myself before. My name is Kasumi. Naruto smiles. And mine is Naruto Senju. Pleased to meet you, Kasumi. Both shake hands after Kasumi sheathes her tanto. She stands and stretches. Well, you said you were going to introduce yourself to us, right? Naruto nods. Well then I will gather a crowd. Kasumi adds chakra to her throat and yells out for all to hear. Senju-sama wishes to speak to you all. Get your asses over here. Naruto chuckles and hears the stampede of feet hitting the ground. Soon, all 1,500 members of the rebellion are congregated around Naruto and Kasumi. He clears his throat, making the crowd quiet, then begins. Hello all, I have graciously decided to help in your fight to reclaim that which you lost, your home, Kiri. My name is Naruto Senju, son to the great Hashirama Senju and Mito Uzumaki. I may look young, but I am as wise as an old man. I will gladly fight alongside you or lead you into battle. May my presence boost your morale. May it boost our chances for victory. What say you, my comrades? Will we let Yagura take your home and kill all that you love? No! The rebellion choruses. Naruto unsheathes his katana and raises it in the air. Raise your weapons high, my comrades, and yell to the heavens that with our combined strength, victory will soon be at hand. Sounds of various weapons being unsheathed are heard, and the rebellion does as asked with a smile. With gusto they proclaim for all to hear. For Kiri, Naruto smiles and sheathes his katana, as do the others. Well, we go into battle 2 days from now and will be leading some of you into an island that overlooks the entrance to Kiri. This island is heavily fortified, but once it crumbles, Kiri will soon be ours. Another round of cheers go out, and Naruto uses a Mokuton Shunshin to get out of the area, shocking all, but it soon turns into a smile knowing that the war would soon be over. Flashback end. Naruto steps out of his tent and looks to his right to see 2 familiar faces coming towards him. He jogs up to both and laughs as he greets them. Zabuza, Haku, I take it my clone told you the situation? Both nod, but Zabuza speaks up. Yeah, and it's about time Yagura met his end. Mei debriefed us and she said that my missing nin status would be revoked once this war was over. Naruto shakes his head. Yagura will not be killed. He is a person like me that is not acting right to the point where he might be controlled. Zabuza growls. What do you mean not killed? And wait, you said you were just like he facepalms, so that's the fox you were talking about. Naruto laughs and holds up 9 fingers, which Haku recognizes as his eyes go wide. Do not spread that around, though what I have planned later in the war will ultimately tell everyone what I hold. Come, we mustn't be late as the battle starts soon. I will escort you to Mei's quarters if you wish. Haku shakes his head. We have been tasked to stay behind on guard duty for now, but thanks for the offer, Naruto-sama. Naruto smiles and nods. I see. Well, until we meet on the battlefield, Zabuza, Haku. Ja-ne, Mei's quarters. Naruto reaches the tent 5 minutes later and sees Ao and Mei standing outside talking to one another. They stop as they see Naruto approaching. Both bow. Hello, Senju-sama. They proclaim, making Naruto wave his hand. Please, just Naruto. I grow weary of the honorifics. Mei nods. So, you still planning on using that technique that you told us about 2 days ago before my forces rush in? Ao questions. Are you sure we will see it from here? Do you doubt my skills as Hashirama's son, Ao? Said person shakes his head. No, it's just we've read about that technique in the history books and only know that it created the forests surrounding Konoha. Honestly, I only believe history when I see it in action. Naruto nods. Very well, you saved yourself from making me turn you into a tree and Mei melting you. Mei laughs as she sees Ao pale and laughs nervously. So this technique is that amazing then, and I can only guess that we will have a new forest on the outskirts on Kiri soon. Naruto laughs. Yes you will, consider it a gift from me for helping out in this war. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to start my assigned task. Gather up the troops so they can watch. Mei and Ao nod and rush off to gather the troops as Naruto heads out to the heavily fortified island. It was said to be filled with at least 500 or more troops and had concrete bunkers and fortresses to stave off any invasion. After Naruto would do his task, 800 rebellion forces would rush in and take out the rest of Yagura's forces. It would be a quick and decisive battle where they would use the island for scouting and reconnaissance purposes before invading Kiri. Fortified island. Naruto reaches the border of the island after 10 minutes of running on the water at full speed and closes his eyes to feel the multiple signatures of life that dotted the island. Naruto sighs and steels himself for what he was about to do. I hate taking a life, but alas, such is the cycle that this nation revolves around. May Kami forgive what I am about to do, and father, I will make you proud, as this was the last technique you taught me before you passed. I am sure he, Mito, and the others are looking down upon you with pride. Kit. Steel your heart, remember your father's virtues, and do what must be done. Naruto grasps the necklace and closes his eyes. Thank you, Kurama. You seem to be there when I need it the most. Kurama smiles just as Naruto snaps open his eyes and starts to radiate his silver chakra, alerting some of the members on the island. His eyes turn yellow and a red circle with a dot in the center appears on Naruto's forehead, as well as red outlines around his eyes and down part of his face. A stern look adorns his face as he raises his chakra further. The island now knows there is an intruder, but it would be too late to do anything as Naruto starts to run through hand signs. Tiger, ram, snake. Would release secret technique. Nativity of a world of trees. Saplings appear around the island and soon a rumbling within the earth is felt. The cracking of trees growing out of the ground is heard next, followed by the screams of people caught in the attack. Naruto held it for 4 minutes until he was sure that the forest spanned the entire island. He releases the jutsu, closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, canceling his sage mode. He opens his eyes a short while later and smiles, not even winded in the slightest, though his chakra did take a hit. Nicely done, Kit, your father would be proud. And look at you, not even tired after using that much chakra. Muses Kurama. Thank you, Kurama. I hear the rebellion coming now. All in a day's work, I suppose. Island forces before the jutsu. One of the sensors on the island jumps up from his meditation as he feels an immense chakra spike and quickly heads over to his commander's quarters. As he rushes in, another massive spike went off and he knew that one would have alerted everyone on the island. What the hell, who has such potent chakra? The commander yells, looking over the sensor Neen in front of him. I don't know, sir, it's just. The ground begins to rumble and people stumble outside to see some saplings emerge. The commander widens his eyes as he knows this teaching from the history books: evasive maneuvers, attack incoming. What one of the ninja states, and that is all that could come out of his mouth. Trees erupt from the ground, catching some in their branches while impaling others. Everyone does their best to dodge them as they continue to grow around the island. Screams ring out in the distance and around the island, making the commander curse. He was dead. History said he died 50 years ago, but wait, could this be? Oh no. The commander knew that the tables have been turned on Yagura and that the war would likely be lost if the man he was thinking of came to back up the rebellion. Rebellion forces before the jutsu. Everyone was watching the island, waiting to see what happened. Ao used his Byakugan so that he could tell others what was happening. When Naruto gathered his chakra, though, Ao screamed out and covered his eye with his hand as pain roared through it. Mei rushes over. What's wrong? His chakra, it's unconceivable. Speak, Ao, before I melt you. Ao takes a deep breath and lowers his hand. I got a glimpse of his chakra pool before I had to turn away as the chakra being output started to blind me. Believe me or not, but Naruto has the chakra of 4 or 5 Kages combine. Everyone that heard this turns to look at Ao and screamed, what? Mei starts to do a happy dance. I knew Naruto would be our guardian angel, though it makes sense as he is part Senju and Uzumaki. Everyone nods and starts to feel the ground shake, making everyone wonder what is going on. Then they all see history in the making. A forest blooms in front of them over the course of the next 4 minutes. It left them all breathless until Zabuza spoke what was on everyone's mind. Holy shit, Ao whispers, it's true, I can't believe it, and he doesn't even look tired. Mei knew this was the signal to those I assigned to help Senju-sama move out. A chorus of Hi Mei-sama is heard and 800 forces rush to the island. With Naruto, present time, Naruto hears the 800 rebellion forces coming as he stands there with his eyes closed, searching for anyone left alive. He knew that the jutsu could be dodged as the trees helped in that regard, but it was usually deadly nonetheless. He picks out that there are about 100 left out of the 500 plus that were originally on the island. Some were captured in his trees while others were frantically searching for a way out. What are your orders, Senju-sama? Kasumi states. Naruto opens his eyes and takes a deep breath. There are 100 troops left inside this vast forest, which are either currently running around in panic, or are entwined in the branches of my trees. Steel your hearts to do what must be done, and may you sully your blades with that of an enemy which stands before you. Jump from tree branch to tree branch if you can, as it will be much easier to travel. Hi Senju-sama, the force proclaims. Naruto nods and unsheathes raging whirlpool. I will lead the way, but spread out as this island is massive. flare your chakra if you get lost. Everyone nods and follows Naruto into the forest. Some decide to move on the ground while others follow Naruto's orders. It would take another 3 hours to comb the island and finish off any survivors, but it was well worth the time. Outposts were set up throughout the rest of the day so that reconnaissance and intelligence gathering on guard rotations and such could be done. Mei, who was still at the main base, was happy with the results of the first battle as no casualties were lost on their side thanks to in part of Naruto's main attack. She was brought out of her thoughts by Ao asking a question. Mei, what shall we call this forest? Said person thinks, well, every landmark has to have a name. Let's see him. Mei snaps her fingers. Forest of Hope is what it shall be called. It is where one man started it all, started to bring hope into all our minds. Hope that Yagura's reign will end and ours to begin. Kiri, Mizukage Tower. 30 minutes later. A knock on the door is heard and Yagura lets the person enter. It's his main man in reconnaissance, Susumu. Susumu, what do you have to report? Please let it be good news or I will kindly discard you like the trash on the ground level of this tower. Yagura, in a sickly sweet voice, states with an evil grin. Susumu gulps. Mizukage-sama, hell well you see, I'm waiting boy. Susumu flinches and starts to sweat. Our fortified island, which is a main defense for Kiri, has fallen. The island is more like a forest now though. No survivors to my account. Yagura stands and walks around his desk, then puts a reassuring hand on Susumu's cheek and smiles. Oh, the rebellion took out a massive force of ours, and it seems they have a new ally, one that possibly has the Mokuton. Too bad they will never make it to me if they decide to attack. Thank you for bringing me this information. Susumu nods and in a nervous voice squeaks out, can I go, Mizukage-sama? Yagura cackles, such a sweet boy you are. You can leave this room all right. He turns Susumu around and pushes him in the back, initiating a jutsu. Cracks are heard as coral starts growing on Susumu's body that starts to scream in panic, making Yagura cackle. You can leave all right. You can leave when you have perished in front of my very eyes. Yagura-sama, why are you, ACK? Susumu cannot finish as the coral enters his mouth and starts to grow down into his body. Within the span of a couple minutes Susumu is no more. All that remains is a lump of coral that has the shape of a medium-sized human. Yagura smiles and picks it up, opens the window to his office and chucks Susumu's body out. Yagura watches with an evil grin and gleam in his eye as the body drops to the ground below. A shattering is heard seconds later, turning Susumu into nothing but dust and little pieces of coral. Yagura sits back in his seat and sighs. So, the rebellion wants to attempt to take over like before him. Maybe I shall set up a present for them when they arrive. This person with the possible Mokuton though is very troublesome. No matter. The rebellion will fall and I will be the one to rule over all of the land of water. Time skip. 1 week later, Konoha. 1 week has passed since the first assault towards Kiri, and since then the rebellion has been gathering reports on guard rotations, how many are inside the city, and what Yagura's schedule is during the day. They knew 1 week would not give enough data for a full-out attack, so they decided to recoup, train, and figure out just what would they do in the major battle that was to come. In Konoha though, it was 1 week since Sasuke had certain memories of him wiped, as well as Jiraiya searching for Itachi saying that he could come home. In that time Hiruzen reflected on his life thus far and realized that it was time to retire and needed a replacement, so he called clone Naruto and Tsunade into his office for a quick chat. Flashback. 5 days ago, Hokage office. A knock is heard at the door. Come in. The door opens and Tsunade and Naruto's clone comes in. They close the door behind them, bow, and sit in the chairs in front of the Hokage's desk, which was once again free from paperwork. Puffing on his pipe, he starts. Certain events have recently made me reflect on my time as Hokage and am proud for the years of service I have given Konoha, but I think it's time that I pass on the mantle. I already asked Jiraiya before he left in search of Itachi 2 days ago, and he refused as his spy network is more important, and I agree with him. So that leaves me with you two, but I cannot decide on which one would fit best. Naruto and Tsunade blink in slight shock but nod as they knew Hiruzen was getting old. Hiruzen, I am going to cut to the chase here. My boss is currently fighting a war and used his father's secret technique 2 days ago to lay waste to a fortified island. Out of the 500 plus enemies, only 100 survived. Boss used a lot of chakra, but it only left a small dent, but since our minds are linked in a way so that we can transfer information, I know he might dismiss me at any time before he and the rebellion invade Kiri. Tsunade and Hiruzen gape at the clone and simultaneously shout, he used that jutsu? Clone Naruto nods and laughs. It was the second time he used that jutsu, one while training with it and now. I am sure you remember that day when I made the forest in the backyard of the Senju compound. Hiruzen laughs. Yeah, you ruined Mito's garden in the process. Oh man, was she pissed. Hell hath no fury like an Uzumaki women scorned. Tsunade chuckles. I always wondered where that garden went. Naruto sighs, putting the past aside. What I am trying to say is that I don't think boss is ready to become Hokage yet. Yes, I am technically 68 years old, but thanks to me being in limbo I am still 18, which is too young to become Hokage. Tsunade, I know Dan and Iwaki wanted to become Hokage and died during the Second War, but you have to put the past behind you. Tsunade finishes as the future is much brighter, I know. She sighs. Look sensei, do you think I am capable right now? Sarutobi laughs. No, but I don't plan on stepping down until after the Chunin exams, so in that time I will teach you so that the transition is much smoother. What do you say, my old student? Would you like to follow your grandfather and granduncle's footsteps and make Dan and Iwaki's dreams come true? Tsunade chuckles. You old monkey, you sure know how to pull those heartstrings, but you're right. I will become the Yondaime Hokage-sensei. Will you please guide me? Flashback end. Clone Naruto sighs as he looks out toward the forest he created to see Sasuke walking up the tree using only the palms of his hands. It was like the tree walking but using the hands instead. It has been 1 week since Naruto began training him on his chakra control to better use the jutsu that Danzo confiscated from who knows where. Naruto also let him run through his taijutsu katas. It would be time to start training controlling Sasuke's fire affinity, which meant for a new trainer, one that Naruto knew would be a great help on, Kakashi Hatake. Naruto smiles at how well Sasuke was progressing and knew that if Itachi was found and brought back, Sasuke would, without a doubt, help Konoha prosper. The only problem was when he awoke the Majikyo Sharingan. What then? Naruto wondered if there was another way to obtain the MS, so he made a mental note to ask Itachi about it. Alright Sasuke, you can stop now. Sasuke flips off the tree and runs towards Naruto. Anything else today, Naruto-sensei? Naruto shakes his head. I was going to have you work on physical exercises, but I feel that you need to spend time with your graduates and new friends. Sasuke smiles and cheers, then bows. Thank you, Naruto-sensei. I will get myself cleaned up and head out then. Naruto nods. Do as you wish, Sasuke, and you have come along well. Itachi would be proud, and don't worry, Jiraiya will bring him back. Sasuke nods as he runs inside to clean up. Naruto chuckled to himself when Hiruzen and he told the Konoha 11 about what happened to Sasuke and that his attitude would change. Sure enough, the day Sasuke greeted everyone with a heartfelt smile and words of encouragement, it threw them for a loop, but all grew to accept the new and improved Sasuke. Naruto knew that the entire Konoha 11 trained together at some points as Sasuke came home bloodied and bruised, but smiled through the pain, commenting that pain is weakness leaving my body. The saying couldn't be truer for Sasuke. He went through so much, and in the end his future took a sharp turn and began to look brighter.